Okay. How's everybody doing? Yeah. I'm gonna start with. I hope everyone is doing well, and as we get to the end of the year, I wish everyone is safe. I wish everyone is doing well, and also I wish everyone a happy and prosperous 2026. And that being said, with respect to 2025, there is an event that happened today that I believe it's a very, very sad news. Hi, Gaspik. Welcome to the show. Um, and it's quite unfortunate, you know. Um, it's quite unfortunate. Like, this has been trending in Nigeria today, and it has to do with the mishap that happened, on the Lagos Ibadan Express Road with respect to Anthony Joshua. I'm going to open with that. And then also we're going to talk about what's been happening in the Nigerian space. Yeah, it was really sad. I saw the news and it wasn't good at all. He lost his two friends in the crash, and the whole response was actually bad. I mean, I'm just seeing this. I just opened my Nigerian Twitter handle right now, and I'm seeing a back and forth between Peter Obi and Reno Mokiri. But let me go first read what Peter Obi had to say with respect to that, and then I'll come back to what Reno is saying, and then we can actually take it from there. Unfortunately, what actually was meant to turn to something of joy, given that the guy just won like got a 70 million, after his fight. And this is it. Also, Peter Obi 9 hours ago said, it's with deep concern that I received the news of the road accident informing former heavyweight champion, Mr. Anthony Joshua. He did put the handle there at Anthony Joshua in Makun, Ogun State. So it did happen in Ogun State, but I think that it was actually on that Lagos Ibadan Express Road. It is particularly worrisome that this incident occurred while he was in Nigeria. What the hell? What the hell? I mean, accidents happen everywhere, but I mean, what does it mean? Now, if you want to talk about what was, there was a truck stationed on the road, which I believe, okay, on a normal day, there should have been certain signs. There's been the report that it was actually a tire that got that got bust. I don't know. When I asked Grok, he was saying that it was a case of overspeeding. Also, there was a conflicting report that it was actually, a tire that got that got punctured. But many of us are also compelled to reflect on reports that no ambulance was readily available. Yeah, this is it, right? This news, the whole thing, the first aid, the emergency crew was just not it at all. I mean, someone had just, gotten into a car crash. And I think the driver survived. Anthony Joshua survived. And he lost his full friend. May God Almighty grant him speedy recovery. And I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of the two lives lost. May God grant them comfort and grant the departed eternal rest. Yeah, no ambulance. Are we not a disgraced country? It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. And this is Anthony Joshua. So again, just on his page, nothing about that news. I believe he's just still recovering. There would have been a lot of prayers, sent to him. Peter Obi, of course, is going to carry waters for the government. I note your comment on today's unfortunate accident involving the former heavyweight champion. Sir, rather than rely on reports as a responsible statement, you ought to have waited for authorities' official statement. Alternatively, you have the contact of the governor of Ogun State and Lagos State. Why not call them and get verified information? Contrary to your post, it's not true that no ambulance was readily available to convey him to the hospital. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Joshua, who thank God only survived minor injuries, was conveyed to a hospital within minutes of the incidents, and the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Nigerian Police Force were at the scene within the first 10 minutes of the accident. If they were at the scene within the first 10 minutes of the accident, then it's unfortunate that what I saw being displayed right there was quite unprofessional. There was no extreme case that there was a fire outage. So because when I had this chat with one of my friends, was like, if and some of the things I read online, that if it was fire, you can actually just take the guy out. This guy was literally being carried out, and he was even struggling to walk by himself. There was no stretcher, as far as I saw, no stretcher to put him on. Okay, and this is the problem. I mean, you can have a vendetta against Peter Obi. I'm not a supporter of him, but again, you have to be able to say this is the full truth of what happened. Okay, if truly there were emergency services at that incident, then can someone tell me what happened? That they couldn't even care for the guy the right way. And that has been trending for a while, all over today, and it's just quite unfortunate. So yeah, this is it. Sending my heartfelt thoughts and prayers. I want to see what really happened. This is him, when it was being carried out. I just want to see if there's a major news. Once more, the tragic accident involving has laid bare the deepening erosion of our humanity in this society. When someone is involved in a crash, immediate response from certain individuals to offer aid, someone emergency, or safeguard the victim. Instead, they whip out their phones to capture the photo. Yeah, I mean, that happens always. So these are the two guys, I believe, that were actually fatally wounded. No one can truly imagine what Anthony Joshua is going through right now. I mean, you taking your friends to Nigeria for a day in December. I learned one was his coach and another one was his mentor. So two of them, actually, it was just more like a close-knitted circle, and it's quite unfortunate. One of the big advantages of relocating abroad is the quality of infrastructure. You see, you rarely see bad roads. Okay, Anthony Joshua recently had an accident, but thank God he's fine. Imagine if the same accident happened on some of our roads back home, the frustration and danger would have been much more worse. Okay, so this is the guy. While they took him out. It's quite unfortunate. And even the noise and the whole thing. Now, this guy just got out and he's sitting upright. And you can see that he was in a lot of pain. He was in a lot of pain. No real ambulance, okay? And that's it. I guess by now, possibly, I don't even know if he's still in the country or would have been flown abroad. Yeah, you can see visibly being frustrated and all that. And it's just quite unfortunate that really happened. There's no adequate control of the trucks and trailer activities on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Shame to Ogun State and Lagos State. Yeah, because on a normal day, it shouldn't. Now, of course, things do happen, okay? We don't want to just, state obviously that this is just something that is peculiar to the country. But then, one of the things that I believe that had contributed to it was that stationary truck, at what time did it get there? Was it just an immediate stuff? Because in Nigeria, you see these things happen. And you could have truck on an highway for hours and nobody to actually tow it or take it out of of the road. Secondly, when the first aid guys came, FRSC is blaming the accident involving this on excessive speeding. Okay, this guy is saying that's wrong for you to blame it on excessive speeding. Just as we can also conclude it's a bad road. Just as we can't also conclude it's a bad road, but the result being bad road is 80% protect. Now, this person doesn't know what he's talking about. This was him. So I think it was actually sitting behind the driver. It was sitting behind the driver. So possibly the person sitting, next to him that was behind the passengers seat in front, and the guy in the passenger seat actually were the one who were tragically affected. And that's it. And these guys were still there were a lot of stuff. Boxing superstar has treated death after surviving horrific high impact accident. again, it's just quite unfortunate, you know. This was him December 18 on Netflix specials. I don't even know how that
Hey, I'm
work.
Anthony Joshua, and I'm proudly of Nigerian descent, and today I'm repping Niger. And this is Rep Your Flag. My favourite Nigerian food has to be jollof rice, red stew, coleslaw, moi moi, and plantain.
Okay, so that's in December 18. The Nigerian slang and expression that I love the
I thought
most.
it was you, but it was just your thoughts in my mind. They're very persuasive, very romantic, and they got away with words.
Okay, so that's,
I think it's good because
that's in there, December 18. That's it. Okay. Anthony Joshua, alive today. Lessons learned. What should have been done? And a spark to the Nigerian government. But work with me. Okay. Yeah. So that's that about that. Let me see this one. Those of you saying Anthony Joshua should go back to the UK, that he should never visit Nigeria, should shut up. You are criticizing Nigeria and blaming Badro for the accident as if the accident don't happen in UK. Do you know how many people die in the UK every day from road accident? Even the ambulance are not always on time in the UK. Let me see this guy. Let me see what he has to say.
That Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident in Lagos Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. It was also reported that 2 people died in that accident, and Anthony Joshua has been rushed to the hospital. Now, a lot of you are saying he should go back to UK. Oh, Nigeria want to buy him. There's no good road in Nigeria. This is what Nigeria does to people. We don't have a good road. We don't have good medical facility. No ambulance. Kiniko. Shut up.
Okay, let me move on.
So,
yeah, again,
so in your mind, UK, they don't get UK in Nigerian road is not good. They want
okay, again, that's not what this is what I'm saying. Okay, and things do happen. We've seen various instances of bad stuff happen also in the West, but there are times that things could be avoided. Okay, number one. Number two, I don't have the full, because I did even ask Grok, like updates on the Anthony Joshua, what caused the accident. Let me see update on Anthony Joshua. There were conflicting stories, what really caused the accident. Accident. Yeah, let me just see, and then to see where he is at right now. I just want to see. So, British heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua was involved in a serious diss. We've said that already. Tragically, 2 close friends and member of his team, is a Shinogami. Okay, that's a strength and conditioning coach. And Latif Ayodele, personal trailer, died in the accident. Joshua was a passenger in the rear seat of the Lexus SUV that collided with a stationary truck. What really caused the accident? Reports from authority provides these details. The Nigerian FRSC cited preliminary findings of excessive speed. Okay, excessive speed and wrongful overtaking as primary factor, leading to a loss of control and the crash into the parked truck. I still don't know how, really, if the truck was not there, possibly maybe they will all still be alive today. And that's why when you're in Nigeria, you have to understand that the rules are different. You've got to be careful of what you do. Ogun State Police Commissioner Lanre Ogunlowo reported a burst tire on the vehicle, causing the driver to lose control and swerve into the truck. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show. So again, there's a report of a burst tire. There's a report of an excessive speed. It shouldn't be difficult for us to know what really happened. I still don't understand why there are 2 conflicting stories with respect to this mishap. The exact cause remains under official investigation, with some sources highlighting speeding as a contributing element on Nigeria Highway. It could also be partly because they were highly speed and they were on a very high speed. And then when there was a punctured tire or a burst tire, then they couldn't control, the aftermath of that. Again, I don't know if that's the case, but I think that it could have been one of the 2. It could have been both. I'll just leave it at that. The exact cause remains under official investigation. So we're going to see what really happened. Hopefully the investigation comes out on time, and then we can move on from there, with some source highlighting speeding as a contributing element, on Nigeria's highway. It could be there could be something on the road. Because again, I mean, how often do they even, kind of do a clean sweep of the road? Okay. Joshua had been visiting a family in Nigeria, his parents' homeland, after his recent knockout win over Jake Paul. Yeah, that fight where he won Jake Paul. His promoter, Matchroom Boxing, issued a statement expressing condolences and requesting privacy for those affected. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu spoke with Joshua and his family to offer support. This is a developing story. Okay, yeah. So again, that's it. Nigeria, kind of happened to him, like they say. And that's it. I wish him well, and I wish him the best. I'm gonna move on, okay? With respect to politics in Nigeria, so WIKE is back. He's been talking, okay? He's been talking, and want to see what happened. He did a media chat today, and I'm gonna respond to that, and let's see. We can take it off from there. Okay, FCT Minister WIKE. End of the year media chat. What does he have to say?
Business. And so you are bound to see what you're saying today. And if they correct themselves, obviously, mind you, this is a party that is known in all grassroots. This is a party that's known in all Nigerians. It's not a new party. From 1999, People's Democratic Party has been in power, and unfortunately in 2015, they lost to the APC. And still retained certain good number of seats. Also good presence in the National Assembly.
Okay.
We have a leadership that's not focused. We have a leadership that does not even know what to do. You have a leadership that does not even...
In Nigeria road, a lot of things can cause accident. These days, driver engaging over speeding, bad roads, and even fear of bandits on the road. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's always that likelihood, right? It's just crazy.
Take any suggestions, and that's where we are. So if the leadership is committed and comes back to say, look, we have made a mistake. Why is it that things are happening this way now? What do we do to correct us? You see, it's not just to take over government. You have to position yourself. If the leadership is right, okay, look, by 2027, it's likely that we may not make it. But are we going to allow the party to die? Can't we start to build up? Let us take the right decision against 2031. It's all dependent on leadership.
So again, he's already focusing on 2031, trying to tell them that, you know what, this 2027 election is already locked down for APC. I mean, to be honest with you, I am PDP right now. I don't even know. They're just not there, unfortunately.
Okay, but let's get into it now then. You're sounding like you want unity and collaboration between leadership, but SEYI MAKINDE is accusing you of doing the opposite. So if we get into his media chat that happened not so long ago, he mentioned you by name and said in a meeting with the president that you were present and the president's chief of staff was present, that you said to the president that I will hold PDP for you. And then he said that he went with you to the veranda or the balcony and said, this is not what we planned, or this is not what was agreed to. And then he said that if you're free to support the president if you want to, but he is free not to. Now, is that factual? Because he said other people were there.
That's a blatant lie. And that's why, you see, SEYI MAKINDE has never called me WIKE. Never. That's the first time I hear him say WIKE. He's never called me WIKE one day. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
First of all, you ask yourself, what was that meeting? What was the purpose of that meeting? That would have led me to say, Mr. President, I will hold PDP for you. Why did SEYI MAKINDE not come up all this while to tell the party, see what WIKE is doing? I was in a meeting. And see what WIKE said. It's not correct. And let me put the record straight. There was no such meeting. Rather, my humble self, the former governor of Benue.
His interested how he refers to himself as his humble self. Hi, Hot Kid. It's just quite interesting.
The former governor of Abia State, Ibazu, the former governor of Enugu State, Ugwaye, and SEYI MAKINDE we went to see president.
That's the G5.
Yes, we went to see president to discuss, of course, elections were over, to discuss about certain things. While we were there, the chief of staff, of course, you should know that the chief of staff is always around the president. I was one who said, look, chief of staff, come and so that you can, remind the president of what we have discussed. There was nothing like a meeting. We booked to go and see Mr. President. So you couldn't, it is completely out of place for anybody to say that in that meeting, I said to Mr. President, I will hold PDP that for you. That's very unfair. Very, very unfair. Totally unfair. And you see, I have told everybody, frustration, if you can see it, to watch MAKINDE on that media chat, you can see frustration. And this is a young man we have advised severally. Politics is not like being a contractor with Shell. Politics is not like being a contractor with a mobile. It has different rules. It has different. When did MAKINDE come into politics?
Okay.
When did he come into politics? And you see, there's nothing wrong in having ambition. But the ambition must be tailored according to the rules.
Ambition? What do you mean by ambition? Running?
And again, I mean, you don't necessarily have to believe what she said, but we can all see from your action that what you're doing basically is that you're holding PDP down. You don't even need to make that insinuation. You don't even need to tell the president directly, I'm going to hold PDP down for you. It's just what you've been doing. Okay? Yeah, this type of politician is one of the reasons most people prefer regionalism, where every region will be able to treat F-ops that may come from characters like WIKE. I think the best thing that will work for us in Nigeria is to really go back to that regional system of government. If we still have, that in mind, that's the only thing, because then everybody can actually develop, and then there would also be that nearness to your region. You can actually hold somebody responsible for what is happening in your region and your space, and then they can actually fight it out.
For president or what?
He has not even had the guts to tell us that he wants to run for president. Let him say that he has told anybody. But we know we are not kids. You see, there are things you can do, and you think that people don't know. People do. They watch you. They follow what is going on. How did PDP enter this crisis? It is SEYI MAKINDE's ambition. How did we enter the crisis? He went and arranged with some people to make sure that our secretary is ousted. He allowed people to go to the State High Court in Enugu. When you know that the State High Court has no jurisdiction over that matter, they got the judgment. No problem. Samaya went to the Court of Appeal. On appeal, Samaya won. We all agreed for the party to move on. Look, convention will be coming. Why not allow this to go on? We have only 1 year. So what are we pursuing? In the convention, you will make sure those who don't want them to come back will not come back. He refused and went to Supreme Court. When he got to Supreme Court, he lost. He still believed that no, Supreme Court said the party has no jurisdiction. Come on, what are you doing? Who appealed to Supreme Court? You and your colleague, you and your co-host appealed to Supreme Court, and you lost. Until when they went to INEC, INEC told them, listen, as far as we are concerned, in our system, the secretary of the PDP is Senator Sam right? Now, Saraki, we could bear this witness. We have met the Saraki's guest house severally. Fintri, the governor of Adamawa, was there. Bala, the chairman of Governor Forum People, was there.
Yeah, politics of bitterness. I choose on fighting for power. They're not coming together on how to make the country productive. I mean, nobody's, I don't even think that's in their bingo card. It's all about power. It's all about divide and rule, divide and conquer. And that's where we are. Again, the whole story about defection, the whole story about, going to court, getting court order and all of that has actually led PDP to where it is today. And now people are even talking about the coalition. Nobody's even looking at PDP to say, hey, where are you guys? At least there's still a little bit of gesture towards what is happening in LP. and what Peter Obi will eventually do. Although we're hearing that December 31st has been fixed as the date for him to officially join the ADC. We'll see how that goes.
Saraki said, well, there's nothing you have agreed to do that Makinde will not go and do a different thing. There's nothing. And this is why we are here today. Because, okay, look at even the convention, for example. The Board of Trustees set up a committee to say, look, what do we do? Committee headed by Wakil Adamawa, former governor of Osun State, Oyinlola, former deputy governor and chief of staff to President Jonathan Ogedeme, Senator Zainab Kure, and 2 other people came up with a report. Look, let's not go for this convention. Let's set up caretaker committee. The same SEYI, of course, you know Adolphus Wabara. He has no name. You know he has no name.
But you just mentioned his name.
He has no name. That does not mean that that's the name. They don't know what removing as the Senate president was just bribe of 15 million naira. Everybody is aware of that. He went, they now denied and said, oh, the committee was compromised. There are 2 judgments of the Federal High Court. Justice Omotosho and Justice Little. Substantive judgment, not others. Seyi Makinde, frustration can make you do a lot of things that will cause damage. He went to Ibadan State High Court to obtain an ex parte order. State High Court to obtain an ex parte order for them to still go on with that convention. How could an ex parte order override substantive judgment of 2 courts?
Yeah, politics of bitterness, fighting for power, exactly. I agree to do what does that include the agreement to sabotage your party. Again, I don't even know if that would at the end of the day end up working for him, because as he has done that, Fubara also has learned from him. So they are both, sabotaging each other right now. I'll say that when mother's goat is eating grass, that baby goat watches her. Yeah, WIKE is breeding future politicians of his likes in River State and even in other states in Nigeria. Not good for Nigeria. Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of all these anti-party, a lot of all these, crisscrossing, and a lot of all this major shift when it comes to politics. And that is what's really happening now. We just see what happens.
Of course, he had done his so-called convention. INEC was not there. INEC refused to recognize them. Then, in that same matter, INEC filed a preliminary objection to say that, look, court, you have no jurisdiction over us. Why would we be a party to this? And the court agreed and struck out INEC name. So there was nothing binding on INEC. The same person now had gone to the Federal High Court in Ibadan to recognize them. Recognize the convention we have done. A convention that Federal High Court has said you cannot go ahead and do. You have, after disobeying the court judgment, you've now filed at the Federal High Court now in Ibadan that, look, recognize us as the legitimate principal officers. That has not been settled. He has gone again to file at Federal High Court in Abuja against police until the secretary said we can use. Why not wait for the Federal High Court to say, okay, you are the legitimate principal officer? So the point I'm making is not, look at where PDP is today. Look at the crisis. Something that would have been easily solved. Listen to the voice of elders. Don't go ahead. Let's form caretaker committee.
Yeah, but the question would then be that if the problem or the challenges that PDP has or had, if it was solved, would you have still supported the PDP with its candidate against Tinubu, the person that you're working with right now? The answer would still have been no.
PDP has no candidate in Ekiti State. Today, PDP has no candidate in Osun State. Now, when you say one-party state, who is making us have a one-party state? If you have listened to people and allowed due process to take place, would the issue of one-party state arise? You are the one who is creating one-party state, and yet they are accusing the government of trying to have a one-party state. Just listen to what people have said and follow due process. By now, we wouldn't have been talking about one-party state. Now,
No, I don't even believe that. I don't believe it was going to. Yeah, why should the police be sitting in a party office in the first place? Exactly. Even if there are factions, the party could still be holding its own meeting. It's not compulsory that all the faction must meet at the same time. But again, the way things goes in Nigeria, right? Where there is no law and all that, there's chaos everywhere. So again, that's what they try to kind of do. With respect to that, hi, good evening, Kathy. WIKE will be known as a career troublemaker and career betrayer. I don't think he cares about his legacy after politics. No, WIKE and legacy. I don't even think he knows anything about legacy. I think for him, it's about how to still hold on to power. And he's been actually, dogged. He's been on it. Now he's told everyone that he's not going to let River State go, to Fubara or to APC, indirectly. So we'll see what happens. And also to SEYI Makinde, really, to be honest with you, I don't even see SEYI Makinde as an heavyweight. Maybe I'm wrong, but again, I'll just leave it at that. And it's unfortunate PDP is where it is today.
having taken wrong steps that is destroying your party, you are now accusing the other party of wanting to have a one-party state. It doesn't make sense.
Your Excellency, if I may, before Rotus asked that question, leading to Mr. SEYI Makinde's question, chat. My colleague here, right in the middle, I call him BQ. I'm trying to remember his first name. Jide had raised the issue of the leadership, and you had said that if the leadership of the party doesn't listen, etc., etc. You had also spoken to something leading up to a convention. That you had told them, or there had been suggestions that whatever grounds they had against the the national secretary of the party, should be held up until they entered the convention. So it seemed like all was geared towards this convention, only for us to hear much later that no, there were suggestions that the convention be stepped down. Even you yourself had mentioned that Mr. Samayan was going to be secretary of the party up until the convention. What made people change their minds about this convention? At what point did the party begin to say, no, we're not going to go ahead to a convention, we're going to, organize a caretaker committee?
Because there are disagreements. People have gone to court to say, look, you can't go ahead with this convention. Why would you not go ahead with convention? So many states have not had their congresses. How will you deny states of participating in the national convention? You have 36 states. About 16 states have not had any congresses. And therefore, they are not eligible to vote in that convention. 16 states. And people went to court and said, no, you cannot do this. Let's follow due process. Take, for example, you want to do zoning. I'm a minister of the Federal Republic. We have senators from the south.
Okay.
What SEYI Makinde did was to call a few people and take them to Lagos and said that, that they have zoned the offices that came to the south. How would you do that? How will you disqualify very prominent members of the party? Is this ambition I'm talking about? Is this ambition? And people say, look, it is not going to be possible. If things are not done correctly, this is where it's going to lead us. And that was why they now formed this elders committee to look into the matter and bring us suggestions on the way forward.
We're all parties.
And again, I don't even know if Atiku had any impute, because at some point Atiku was just gave up and said, you know what, let's just go, let's just move on. I think they felt like WIKE was already in the pocket of Tinubu, and there's really anything they can do to salvage this situation, anything to favor itself. Yeah, again, that's that, and I think that's what is happening right now. The remaining I would say, bodies left in PDP. They still don't want to actually know that you have to put all this together to still salvage whatever is left of it. The way they are going, if care is not taken, it's going to really, really, really be bad. I still think the party can come back, but again, it's what it is. I had a WIKE pays a lot of money, millions, to have these collections of psychophans that call themselves journalists. Another way to waste government resources. Yeah, I mean, I was even saying that, you know, I was looking at the makeup of the journalists right now. I'm not seeing Ruben Abati. I'm not seeing some other guy. I know Jide is one of the top guys, and then that other lady too. But again, I mean, bringing Rotu's a financial guy with Arise TV. I don't even know what he's doing there. But again, possibly maybe they're just shoveling things around. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that he pays a lot. WIKE has been plotting to become president. He never envisaged the rug being pulled from under him by Fubara joining APC. Now he's exposed and his party members look at him as fair. Yeah, it's fair game. It's politics. Okay, and politics is war. And is now also reaping, you understand, I would say what he has sown is reaping that back to him. He's trying to actually do a Tinubu like what how will I call it now, godfatherism in River State. That's what he's trying to implement. But I guess he didn't finish the class. Again, River State people, you know, there's a lot of money and there's a lot of vested interest in River State. So he didn't actually finish learning from Tinubu before implementing, and he made some grave mistakes, you know, the first few months when he was going all out on Fubara. I mean, it wasn't even up to 3 months. Now, this guy started fighting for someone that you actually work to put in power. He didn't even attend the class. Yeah, he just messed up. He should have learned more from Tinubu if he wanted to play that kind of godfatherism game. And again, Rivers is, you know, whoever sits, you know, with as a governor in Rivers has a lot of money. So Fubara can, you know, change contract, move money here and there, and now he doesn't really have anything. He doesn't have any cause to be loyal to WIKE. So he's going to fight him with money. And again, he's an FCT minister. There's a limit to what he can do. You can't use FCT money, you know, to be running Rivers. And there's a lot of eyes on him in that FCT. So just waiting for him to make a major misstep. So it's kind of cornered, but we'll see what happens. I think he doesn't give up easily. So we'll see what happens. Hi, welcome. Yeah, we'll continue.
Agree to that elders committee.
Of course. Even when they came to me, I told them because
What's this?
of the respect I have for them. Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to participate because I have respect for them. Look at the old man who's the chairman of the committee, who's not less like 80-something years. Look at the former governor of Osun. Look at Senator Zarab.
That's all I do say you know that, right?
And when I told them all this, look, the only way out, if not for selfish interest, let us agree, come together, form a committee, so that we'll not take it from there. But if you are going ahead with this.
Okay, here we go again. Sorry about that. Let me see. I don't know what's happening here. Yeah.
Right now, we go live to Port Harcourt.
Sorry, I just have to move forward. I don't know what really happened there, and I don't know. My internet is just messing me up. If it continues like that, I might just have to just leave the interview. And I was really interested in watching. I don't know if it's just if it's just a YouTube thing. with respect to my stuff. Let me just see this. If I can get maybe we'll just move to the snippet of the discussions that they had today. And that's it. Okay.
If the presidency goes to the south, then we'll fail.
Okay. So again, I'm so sorry. WIKE is paying so much because of his pain of using Rivers State money to run for presidency, as just as Oshiomhole is also doing with Okpebholo, is failing. I hope he fails woefully. Yeah, but what's up with? I thought Oshiomhole and Okpebholo, they are actually, they are in sync. They're doing well together. I've not seen any major fallout from there. Is there anything that we're not aware of? He had actually planned to use Rivers money to still have PDP, in full force in Rivers, but unfortunately, man proposes, and and that's it.
And the so-called Amala Convention.
Yeah. So again, I think I just have to stop this. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I've been noticing few days now that I've been having this. Possibly, I may have to change my provider, but I'm so sorry. Apologies for this. Let me just see if I can see anything that is actually coming from the media chat that was highlighted on X, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so there's a press statement coming from official PDP. In response to that, WIKE, the permanent agent provocateur, I should clear my catch. Okay, let me see if I can do that. It's possible that's, yeah. Okay, thanks. Let me see if I can do that. While I'm doing that, let me just keep playing this. Okay. I'm thinking it's just the service provider. Tools.
And he supported your agreement that, there must be, how do I put it now, that, the presidency must go to the south.
I have always canvassed that.
Yes, at that point, was he relevant to you or not?
No, it has nothing to do with supporting that the president must go to the south. It has, relevant is what you contribute from your state to give to the party. It's not that you said the presidency must go to the south. Okay, having said so, what will happen in your state? If the presidency goes to the south, then we'll fail in your state or won't have anything of what is relevant. Simply because you said presidency should go to the south. If you mean that presidency should go to it will mean that you have to work in your state for us to actualize it.
To deliver.
Okay. To deliver, if you cannot deliver, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Your Excellency, there is now a 13-member caretaker committee led by Abdurrahman to manage the affairs of the party for the next 60 days.
Yes.
But under the constitution of your party,
Yes.
sections 29 and 31 of the constitution of your party vests that power in the NEC. Under which authority was this particular caretaker committee set up?
That was NEC. Mind you, at the so-called Amala Convention that was held in Ibadan. Of course, people want to go and eat Amala. So yeah, that's why I call it Amala Convention. That had, remember, the chairman of the party then had already abdicated, right? Those of them who believed in that convention had already abdicated. Now the national secretary, the legal advisor, the deputy national legal advisor, the organizing secretary, and all of them are still members who said our tenure will expire December 9th. I'm a member of NEC. So NEC met and said, look, We cannot allow a vacuum. There cannot be a vacuum. Because if we allow a vacuum and the tenure expires, who will now parallel the affairs of the...
Okay, still giving me that issue. I mean, let me just, I'm just closing out some stuff.
Of the party.
Was that a quorum?
Of course. Of course. No, but nobody has anybody come to challenge that there was no quorum. So, as it is today, in fact, we are even going to sue INEC. We are going to sue INEC. INEC has no choice but to recognize the caretaker committee. They have no choice. They have no choice because their tenure having expired. You don't expect that there will be no caretaker to run the affairs of the party. I remember that we have said we must obey court judgment. We must obey. Having obeyed the court judgment, who said there should be no convention, and the tenure was going to expire on the 9th, of course, it's natural. The NEC had to sit and say, look, let us now appoint caretaker committee that will now run the affairs of the party till when the convention is now held. And the committee was set up, and they were told that it should take all steps to see that those states that have not had their congresses will go ahead and hold their congresses. Thereafter, there will be a national convention. So, as it is today, the appropriate authority that can talk about PDP is the caretaker committee. These are people who came out from the Amara Convention. Of course, they've seen it. They are not recognized. And INEC has said it. But the mistake INEC is making is that to say, oh, there's no committee. We wrote to INEC that NEC is going to take.
Again, I don't even know, they will say come home. Again, with respect to this caretaker committee, I don't understand how that would even work. Yeah, I threw a jab at Yorubas. I know the Amala convention. It's fine. I understand what he was trying to do there, but Amala is an about the thing. The caretaker committee that he said he appointed, they're not even caretaker committee at the national level, right? I saw him saying that the caretaker committee is just for the Southeast. And I was kind of confused. Like, what are you even trying to do with a caretaker committee that, is kind of a little bit just for one region or one part of the country? And I still don't understand what he's trying to do there. I saw just while I was trying to sort the internet thing that PDP has actually responded to him. And I think he wants to actually burn the whole thing down with the hope that he's going to rebuild it. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I saw the comment on Anthony Joshua. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. Like the guy was, the way they even handled him from that scene, it was kind of painful and pathetic. The whole world is looking at in fact, that has actually gotten worldwide, attention. We're still talking about Trump, and his disgraced country comment and all that, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's his plan. He thinks that if he burns down PDP, he's able to build it up, but it doesn't work that way. And I think Tinubu will also be looking at him like this guy is a spoiler, because he was, before then he was even at times he talks about the way he made Tinubu the president and all of those. And but he also has to understand that if he has his own level of craze, other people too, maybe their craze is not up to his level, they also have some level of craze too. But we'll see where that leads him, because right now, I think the level that I thought it was, as of 2023, even a few months ago, I think that level is currently shaking. And I'll just see what happens.
And until decisions will be taken. And decision was taken. And caretaker committee was set up. And you cannot allow vacuum. No, it's not allowed anywhere.
Okay, first Honorable Minister, one of the most significant developments in that 2023 election cycle was the formation of the G5 governors in your party.
Yeah.
And Governor Makinde was a prominent member of that team. Now there's a political break in that your group.
One of the things he said during his media chat, which trended, was that when he was when you were still in law school, he had already made $1 million. That also suggests that perhaps your political disagreement is now turning into something personal. So can you shed a bit of light on your political or personal relationship with
Well, it's most unfortunate. I didn't come to talk about money. If he had $1 million, I thank God for that. And at least my sister is also enjoying that $1 million. If my sister is enjoying that $1 million, I'm also enjoying. But with due respect, that's why I say frustration. I ran for the presidential primary of PDP. I didn't say she used 1,000 naira in my primaries. I never saw it one day. 2, it's only in Nigeria I have seen where somebody was awarded a job of $1 million. He made profit of $1 million. And nobody's talking about it. I just saw him one day. He brought a document that he made, that it was given $1 million contract. And again, he made profit of $1 million.
It's quite unfortunate that I didn't even expect MAKINDE to be parading that $1 million. That has nothing to do with the current situation at hand. And if you made $1 million in 1990, whatever, 7 or whenever I actually made it, how does that even affect the discussion right now? And again, it's politics though. They could be petty at times, and politicians, one of the tools they use is to ridicule the other person. Trump does it a lot. You know, other politicians to do it. Exactly. Yeah. Ask him, does he help his constituents in his area, or do they oppress the people? To be honest with you, that question, I think it's going to be better if someone in River State can tell us, because from what I see in River State, I see people just singing and dancing. You know, unlike what I saw in Zamfara, where people were stoning their state assembly member. And that's quite the thing. Like, I think River State, what they do is this. They get this allocation from the federal government, which is a lot of money. Rivers is one of the, Rivers ranks as high as, you know, like top tier when it comes to allocation. They get almost everything. They get the derivation and all of that because it's an oil producing state. And then they also have businesses thriving, you know, in Port Harcourt and all that. So they have a lot of money. I think this is what they do. They try to do the normal infrastructure as much as they can. Okay. So that being said, the other money left is just to share. They share money, you know, and that's why today you see them singing, I won't follow this thing, I won't follow Fubara to go and see WIKE. Tomorrow they will say, Fubara is our leader, Fubara is our governor, WIKE is our leader. I think Rivers politics boils down to money. Who is in control of the cookie jar? And if you can actually take a full control of that, you'll be able to do as much as you can do. That was what made WIKE also very strong, even then against all those powers that be. Come 2031, if there is no good Southeast presidential candidate and we are left between WIKE and Oshiomhole, most Southerners may likely go for Oshiomhole than WIKE. 2031? 2031, the Northerners will want to actually have a share, right? And I think also they are trying to also position, what about Umahi? Dave Umahi, right? That's his name. Because the guy has been coming out to say, I am Southeast right now. That we're getting the best from Tinubu. I mean, that's his words. I just say, we'll see what, I live in a democratic state, New York, so I'm good. Trump can't touch us. Yeah, but the guy will always do, you know, as much. Rivers and Delta State get a lot of money, right? Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
I pray to Almighty God that one day too, I will have a job of $10 billion and make profit of $10 billion.
That means you won't do the contract.
Well, that's what it has shown. That's what it has shown. But let us not be petty. I had my first degree early, before 1990, I had my first degree. Law was my second degree. That time he was talking about 1999. I was chairman of one of the most important local governments in this country. I've never been a contractor. He chose to be a contractor. I choose to have power. and I had the power.
What?
Remember, he was here doing contract with Shell. In fact, he comes. I didn't know he was going to marry my sister anyway. To say, oh, my vehicles have been impounded. Please help to release my vehicle. That is power. That's government.
Damn.
I was in government.
That's his thought pattern, though.
He has to do the business according to the rules I've set in the LGA. And so, what is whether you make 1 million? But you also forgot the same man that had no $1 million. First of all, SEYI in 2007 ran under AMPP as senator. He lost. He lost. SEYI in 2013-14, Munikat Adiola, former leader of the House of Reps, one Senator Jose, we call him Hallelujah. They all brought Monero, brought SEYI to me to give him the structure of PDP in Oyo State. The man who had no $1 million, he had $1 million. But he came to the man who had no $1 million to help him to get structure. We said, no, we will not give you. We gave it to Taslim. He went to SDP to run as governor. He failed. He failed, which is $1 million. He failed. Now,
again, I don't even know, like, that thing is really paining him. It's significant because Makinde is on a higher level than WIKE. WIKE has only made his money from politics. Makinde made his money before he was the governor. Yeah, and I think that's what he's also trying to push. But at this point in time, I just feel like if you're coming out, talk about, you have $1 million, you have this and that. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a real strategy. But again, yeah, I know he made a lot of money as a contractor, and that's it. Southeast does not like David Umahi. Yeah, but I see that they're trying to kind of, he's kind of the person now speaking from the APC party right now as, the Southeast individual. I think he's the Minister of Works, and he's been talking, he's been responding to whatever query, whatever agitation, that comes from the Southeast. So I just don't know why people don't really like him. I think it's not that, it's his persona doesn't really endear people to him. I didn't really even know much about him when he was a governor. It's just now that I just begin to listen to him and then, just research more about him. But again, it's politics. There's a reason people love the people they do love, and that's it. Yeah, he's a local government chairman, and that's his legacy. That's where it all started, But to be honest with you, also for him, I think he's done well for himself. I mean, I don't know if he's done well for the people, but again, to WIKE, having power is a career. Exactly. WIKE never worked to earn money since he graduated. I mean, we see all those pictures when he was still, fresh out, a local government guy, looking like someone that is still learning the ropes. Unfortunately, they gave him power, and that's it. They vote for the people with bad characters. I mean, when you look at all the people vote, all the people trying to run for office, I mean, you can only count maybe 1 out of 100 that you can say this person is actually clean. Almost all of them are not, and that's the unfortunate thing.
It was before 2019, he came back. We said, okay, now, we're ready to give you structure. I was already grounded in politics. I was grounded, but I had no $1 million with me. But the man who made $1 million is going around looking for people who help him to have a structure. It's the one who gave him that structure that SEYI became governor in 2019. Now, when you talk about G5.
And again, apart from the $1 million, I don't see SEYI Makinde as somebody that can run for a national office and win. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't see him as that, I don't see him as having that stuff. But people will say, well, a lot of people that have actually won presidency even without them being qualified. So again, what does that have to do with anyone running for that office? But again, I just see SEYI. I just see him as a lightweight. And again, even not to actually just make joke of him, but the way this guy is even like, oh, he's a boy, he's a small boy, he doesn't even know politics and all that. I just see him. It just appears to me like he's someone that is still learning the ropes.
See, G5 was formed in the basis that, look, we said the South President Buhari hasn't had 8 years. It is natural that the presidency should go to the south. Of course, that's why I say, when you play game, sometimes it boomerangs. People like Atiku and the rest of them thought they were too smart. They now took the chairman of the party, led by one another crook. One, they call him Dr.
Calling another person
he knows he can't sue me. I've said it severally. This is not the first time.
Yeah, but for the fact that you are on national television, not just one channel.
No, but everybody
so
knows
many
I've
networks.
said it in more than 20 televisions.
Yeah, but you can't call somebody a
No, but
crook
let him
without...
sue me. No, but he took bribe from Atiku in Lagos.
That's another one.
No, let him. He knows now. What is that? We know ourselves.
I beg, move on.
We know ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. She is a lightweight. Yeah, even in Southwest, you're right. I don't know.
I mean, for me to say this, he should know that he should have sued me to court up to now. He can't. But anyway.
Your Excellency,
no, let me finish.
Are you saying crooks know themselves? Is that what you're saying?
If you're a thief, don't you know yourself? A thief should know himself that he's a thief.
But are you a crook? Because you said he's a crook. You said he's a crook. We know ourselves.
No, the point I'm making, we are in the same party. We are politicians.
Okay.
We know ourselves. We know who is who.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Because people would think ourselves.
Those who would think that are those who already have something in mind. You know, all I'm saying is that we're in the same party, we are the same politicians, we know who is who. So, we say, look, you cannot have chairman at the same time as the presidential candidate. Like Sheyi said, we had several meetings in London, where even when we agreed with Atiku, before he came back, they changed their mind. It's okay. If he does not resign and allow the South to produce a chairman, then there'll be a problem. Of course, you know that time, they had this belief that President Buhari was supporting them. So for them, everything you said, we have already won the election. We said, we are not going to support you. And we will not support you. And PDP failed. It's not that we're happy, but let there be justice. Let there be fairness in whatever
Again,
way.
no matter what, I understand the part where they actually had to go through that route to support the Southern president, but at the end of the day, it's still anti-party activity. You might say, oh, fine, the end justifies the means, but it's anti-party. Because at the end of the day, you went to the primaries, quite all right. You failed, to win the primaries, and then you decided that because you didn't win, now you're not going to make the party successful at the general election. Now, you could say, based on mutual agreement, there's nothing in the Constitution that says power has to go to the South after the 8 years of the Northern. It's just more like a gentleman agreement that they have at the back of their mind, and they also use it to play whenever it suits them. So again, that's it. We'll see what happens. They vote for the people with bad characters. I've seen that one. Sheyi Makinde looks like he doesn't have charisma, but people like him. I want to talk about people like, Obi has that, that likeness of people around him, but I don't think Sheyi Makinde has that cult following like Obi does, with the obedient and all that. And it could be a very good administrator. Yeah, I think he's trying. There's no honor amongst thieves. They know themselves, right? Yeah.
So, Jim Bagnet, let me tell you one thing that you should know. When we agreed on this, Sheyi's problem was the issue that he was not given ministerial slot.
Yeah, I said that too.
Even when he was saying, you can see the anger.
Yeah.
You can see the anger. You don't need to tell anybody. We told him, listen, calm down. We went to that's one of the issues why we went to see President. To say, look, sir. And President said, look, I'm the president of this country. Just take it easy. There are certain factors I may not have considered. However, something has to be done. Made that. But again, already he has made up his mind. So this issue of, in fact, I remember now, there was a time the Rivers Ijo had a reception for me in Port Harcourt here. So when autumn, that was just to bring you back. When autumn, the former governor of Benin, they went to speak. He said that, look, we are going to support president to do second term. Sheyi Makinde now in Wednesday, replied on pages of this paper that why would you say such a thing? I called him. I said, yes. Even if he says so, you don't need to go and react. All he will say, let's call it meeting. This statement you made, it's too early to have made it. But for you to do this, you are showing as if there's a division amongst us. Like I said, frustration has come. And sometimes too. And
he was in frustration.
Having made that $1 million early, he reacts. So, because when he looks back, he sees the letter of $1 million.
And the guy had to frame the $1 million, which was kind of like, okay, fine, it's good, right? And sincerely, beside all your state, SEYI doesn't even have any pedigree to pull votes, even in all. Exactly, I don't see him as someone that will be able to run things. I'll just even I can place him with this guy in Osun State now, Adeleke. You know, Adeleke is the brother that is running things anyways. The guy, he just dances and that's it. Even in Oyo State, no guarantee he can produce a successor. Yeah, I'm not too vast with what is happening, you know, at that level in Oyo State. But again, I would think so, that it doesn't really hold that base. Yeah, it's only like in his enclave.
You forget that Dangote was not the first person who made $1 million. But today, he's the richest man in Africa.
Okay.
You know?
Could it be possible, sir, that all along, for a very long time, at different instances, Governor Makinde had shown to other members of the G5 that his own political interest, his own political future was completely different from that of the members of the G5.
Without noticing this, like I said, when we met in Lagos, George's Hotel. We met in West Carlton, where I used to stay. We have met in his house. We said, look, you are the governor we have now. Whatever that is going to happen in the governors forum and the caucus meeting, let us know before we go for such meeting, we'll be able to know what to discuss. He never one day. And that's how we came to realize that he's behind removing Senator Samayan was to make sure he achieves the total control of the party.
Wow.
It was when we now saw that, look, this guy has a different thing in mind. And for us, I've asked him one day, listen, if you are going to run for president, tell us. We are the ones here that are going to make it happen. I'm not going to run because it will be unfair for me to go and stand in an election against the person who has appointed me.
Against your employer.
At least I have conscience. Even though people were rumoring,
so he has conscience now.
He's going to run, you know, those kind of things. Now, and I told him this, I want the South to see me tell the president. But if you run now, how would you not think that you will do only one time? Will you go and negotiate with them that you will do one time? It's not going to work.
Yeah. Would they trust you?
How would they trust you? Because you know, once you have the power, it's a different thing. So they will prefer for the president to even finish the 8 years than you to come and do 4 years and then later you blame politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Let us. This has to be planned well. You have to be careful. But like I said, money can make you not to see well. You know, the kind of money the governors have now, we never saw it. That's why most of them make mistakes. They think everything is about money. When they look this way, look at money that has come. In all my life, as governor for 8 years, I have never received a Federation account throughout 1 year. I've never received more than 200 million naira. Never. The records are there. This one now, you see, don't you wonder, even states, when you thought that are now making budget of 1.something a trillion. Why? Because the removal of subsidy by the president, which was a bold step, has now made money available the states. And so most of them are blindfolded.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and again, let me, because someone has been asking me that the subsidy removal, where's the money and all that. WIKE will give you the right to decide the River State governor should be. He's trying to copy what Tinubu is doing, because Tinubu decides who the Lagos State governor should be. So he's trying to be a godfather in River State. Let's see how many times reference the 1 million. Yeah, I mean, he's just using it to kind of slide the guy. Yeah, he's conscious today with respect to how he's calling themselves, it's kind of corrupt individuals who's talking about money. I mean, with respect to, and that's one thing I've also noticed, that we understand that, the executive, everything comes and gets driven from there because of the way our constitution has been designed. But these governors, to be honest with you, these guys are stealing money. They are collecting more money right now. I know things have gone up, prices have gone up, salaries. Some of them have increased salaries, I believe, if not all. And it's just quite unfortunate that nobody even holds a lot of these governors accountable. If SEYI decided to go away from the G5 direction, he should have done it with tact. Instead, his arrogance and lack of will make him politically irrelevant. I think he's not just a very savvy politician. But he got security votes to spend on check. Yeah, but security vote that he got on check, imagine what these guys that are there right now are getting. There needs to be, some level of accountability and even calling out some of these governors. Because really, nobody even talks about them. The only time is when they start fighting with the federal government, and then they use the FCC to kind of highlight. Look at that guy in, what's it called again? Is it Kogi State? That paid almost $1 billion, right? Just for school fees. Yaya Bello. And that's how all of them are.
People, money has its own limitation. Money has its own limitation. It's not everything yet. People say money is everything. No. There are areas money can go. But goodwill can go. Goodwill can go. So it's not everything that you think money will work. No. And Nigeria, it is unfortunate. Now that Nigerians know so much money are in the States.
Yeah.
So many Nigerians are very smart to see that they have their own share from the cake. Yes.
But
if I had the kind of money they have now.
The value is not the same thing, though.
What is value? What is value? I mean,
Rotus can tell you what the value is.
Excuse me. Let us not use this exchange rate and this and that. I don't care about that. What if I have today, whatever you may say, I have 500 billion naira in the state account, or I have 500 billion in FCT today? You will not believe what I will do with it. How much do I get in the FCT? I get 1% of the share that federal government gets. Take, for example, if federal government gets 1 trillion, 1% of 1 trillion is 10 billion naira. That is not enough to pay salary. What do? I go back.
Land is doing deals with lands in Abuja.
So, but look at what has happened in Abuja. So it's not a matter of value. People, that's the argument. People come up with, what's the exchange rate of this? That's all. Rubbish.
Honorable Minister, I know you are going to open a vista which will enable Rotus to begin to take us in the line of silly deals, real estate and all of that. But
I also learned that he's not doing well with respect to refuse, the refuse system, the what will I call it now? The environmental and waste collection system in Abuja. I don't know if that has been corrected, because they actually did bring that up in one of the Senate hearings, that the current state of the waste collection system in Abuja is very, very bad. Accountability is a foreign concept. Yeah, it's unfortunate it's a land grab and make people homeless. Again, one thing I would land in Nigeria, they make it so complex so that you can't even perfect your title. And then they come and get it from you because, you didn't perfect your title. But then you couldn't perfect your title because there's just a lot of processes and a lot of bottleneck involved. Yeah, that's the Nigerian public, especially the press, are to blame for lack of accountability of the governors. We are more fixated on the presidency. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Waste management. Yeah, I learned that the waste management system in Abuja is actually flawed right now. It brought in some people in, and those guys messed it all up. I remember somebody also had that challenge. Instead of him to follow the template that his master did for him, he wanted to bring in some other guys to come help with the waste collection, and he actually backfired. Our military regime is not good, some people say, but when you consider the crop of politicians we have, you would want the military to come flush out. Again, Nigeria is kind of a complex country that I don't know if the Ghana solution would work, because when you bring in the military right now, at one point in time, there's going to be just one person from a certain region that have been clamoring for their own self-determination. Okay, now when he gets there and then the military comes to flush him out, it becomes kind of a vendetta against that region. So it becomes a little bit difficult. And then with the history of Nigeria, going through the military regime, I don't know if that actually worked out for us. It was from one problem to another, and the politicians don't learn, right? Look at all of those guys that worked with Buhari. See what is being kind of, discovered right now within the same APC party. So imagine you bring someone that is outside of the APC party, right? What much more are we going to get? It's just quite unfortunate.
To get them. Still on this Seyi Makinde, we've had through one of your close confidants, although not a member of the G5, but somebody very close to you, former governor of Ekiti State, who actually said that the real reason you went to the villa for that G5 meeting was about Governor Seyi Makinde, and it had to do with persuading the president to assist Oyo State over the bombings that took place at that time. Is that correct? And actually, that
Passion was not did not go with us. What we went to see President for, with all due respect, is look, Seyi is getting too
confrontational,
too confrontational, and I've said it's not necessary. Let's go and see President. They don't need you challenging President because he didn't get this. The other things you will get. And who President to be, yes. The other things you will get. But, like I said, because he has got a misspell. What baffles me, Seyi said that I told President I will hold PDP for you. Okay, assuming, though not considering, assuming I said so,
Assuming. Okay, let's go.
In Yoruba land, Seyi knows that the president is a bomb. Is not correct?
Is an elder person.
Egbon, yeah, is correct. Egbon, yeah.
I'm not a Yoruba person. Assuming, and that was such a meeting. Is that what you can come out in the public and say that somebody who is not for Yoruba is saying that, look, sir, I'm going to help you to hold PDP for you to win the election. I said assuming, even though nothing like that.
No, well, I don't understand. Which one is Egbon? Which one is because it's from Yoruba? Again, he's a politician, right? And it's just unfortunate. That's just the thing. I don't think. And the challenge I have with Seyi Makinde using that as an anchor, saying that because Tinubu didn't give him the minister, I think is very lame stuff. I mean, you have to understand that politics is about interest, and you also have to think about long term. So I don't think Seyi Makinde really thought all these things through before coming out to talk about minister, him not getting the minister and all that. Military in government is an aberration. The same military and Nigerians, the worst civilian government is better than the best military. Those calling for it did not live under it. Abacha and IBB are on my side. But again, the truth about that is that at times we could be lucky to have a military guy that will actually come in and set things in order. Mark my word, lucky. But more often than not, I've noticed that Nigeria, both military, both civilians, we've not been lucky. We've not been lucky. Like what happened in Ghana with Rawlings, right? We could be lucky to have that one person that really knows what he's doing. But unfortunately, Nigeria, I don't know, we're just lucky with that kind of a military person. And that's why we get all these other people. Then you may have one good guy and then the bad guy flushes him out. And then we're back to square one.
I've not gotten the kind of support she got from the president. I'm not. I have not gotten one approval of that. But she got the president. The same man he is talking about that did not give him minister position. Let's say you come and say, what I don't like in people is time to say, show evidence. It's not the issue of show evidence. Say, Makinde, can you look up to God and say, you did not apply to president for a grant of 50 billion, who the president approved for you? Can you, in your conscience,
how about these people got money though?
They did not. Can you in your conscience say, you did not collect such money? You know, everything will like to politicize it. You said, I told president, I'm going to hold PDP for you. Me, that's holding PDP for president, I've not gotten any such grant. You, that you are angry, you have gotten such a... But the point is that see, you can be helped through several ways. And one of such ways, the president looked at it, I will support you with this, with this, with this, with this. And that's why you think that that's not enough for you. And so,
okay,
it baffled me, I will not lie to you. Because if such a thing took place, I would have told you, yes. It never took place. Go and inquire from autumn. In fact, they all called me when they had this thing. They said, what kind of rubbish is this? How can he say that we went for a meeting and then I said this? I can. In any case, who does not know my position as regards to Tribu's president? Do I need to tell him that?
Yeah, again, talking about the meeting, it's incredible that WIKE was so vexed by that back in this comment. I called this press conference. Something else happened at that meeting. Yeah, possibly. And again, I don't even know why he needs to defend himself, because we all know what he's doing. He's effectively holding the PDP down for Tinubu come 2027. It's obvious. You don't even need to argue about that. WIKE is a greedy man. Yeah, I mean, he said he wants his career, that there's agreement, right? So that's
just I've had me say severally, I'm going to support the president. So how would I now go and tell him, president, don't worry, I will hold down PDP for you? It doesn't make sense.
Let me ask this question quickly before we go on our break.
No, that's Jide.
Is it such a bad thing for the president to give SEYI Makinde a ministerial slot? Remember, his supporters, the candidates of the PDP lost the National Assembly elections because he was working for the president's candidacy. So people voted APC, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So now what SEYI Makinde and his people are saying is that out of all of them, the G5 that came together, you are the one who has been benefiting tremendously from the president. Others have been fed nothing except the ambassadorial appointments that they gave a couple of them the other day. So is this such a bad thing for somebody, for the president to say, SEYI, you helped me, you delivered Oyo State gave more votes to the president than other states in the southwest. So is this such a bad thing to give him that minister?
No, see, it is a bad thing. Let me tell you. When you say that PDP lost because he was working for president, why didn't PDP lose in Rivers State because he worked for president?
Yeah, so again, that's I actually wanted to put that in perspective, because that was one of the major mistakes that SEYI Makinde had made. So SEYI Makinde is pained that he sacrificed his own political, I would say, well-being or his political might at the altar of supporting Tinubu. Because what happened was that while WIKE had machineries to do his bidding in Rivers State, he ensured okay, that the presidency goes to Tinubu, but he also used that same machinery to still hold down the other positions and the other stuff in River State. But Seyi Makinde was not smart enough to understand that when you go and align with another party, it's not just like that. It also affects your local races. So Seyi Makinde is coming from a place of loss. He's actually angry that he actually sacrificed Oyo State, okay, for the APC. Not only that the Tinubu won, but also the other senatorial and the House of Rep, like he lost a lot of that to APC. So he felt like because of that, you know what, the president should have actually, you know, given him something more. So again, he's counting his losses, and as a result of that, it's not strategic to know that he really needs to actually up his game. But again, it is what it is. It's politics. That's the same thing that happened during Obasanjo's second term, where Obasanjo made a deal with the then AD governors, saying that, you know what, just help me, you know, and then the AD governor says, you know what, this guy is a Yoruba guy. It will not be good for us to just have the Hausas, the Southeast, the South also help, you know, help Obasanjo. Let's also help him as Southwest. So they all helped Obasanjo. They didn't know that Obasanjo had an alternative plan to ensure that he sweeps all of the governorship candidates of governorship election in the Southwest. It was only Tinubu at that time that was standing, because Tinubu said, no, I'm not going to support you. And there's nothing you're going to do about that. And Atiku also helped then, even though he was the vice, you know, of Obasanjo then. Atiku also helped to ensure that Tinubu still kept Lagos. And that's the thing. Yeah, WIKE is in his 50s. Yeah, I think he actually had some food poisoning stuff. He was very sick at some point. I think that really that really affected him in a way. People confuse. AD agreed, but Tinubu refused the help. Exactly, that was what happened. Politics is not business. Tinubu would never agree with OBJ in those days. Seyi and WIKE will soon become irrelevant. Yeah, with the way things are going right now, WIKE is also kind of, you know, standing on one leg as it is right now. People confuse WIKE for elder over 60 of age. However, his old appearance was sudden. Exactly, due to, I claim it was poison. I said to that, say WIKE is still exhibiting useful exuberance. It will be suicidal for Nigerians to be listening to these so-called G5 governors. If you ask me, I will tell you that they want to spread themselves into different political camps. Yeah, I mean, they have to deal with whatever it is that, you know, that happened. But again, you know, yeah, they're the ones speaking, and we'll see what happens from there. But I agree with you. Like, they sold their party. Well, they're saying that the end justifies the means, but we'll see what happens.
The National Assembly seat, the president won. It's not the same election. That is not correct. Remember, the president also is a Yoruba man. There's also that sentiment that we have to vote for our own. It's there. It's there. So it has nothing to do with because you work for president. That's how you lost out in National Assembly. It's not correct. If that is the issue, then we would have also lost out in National Assembly here. We went to the same election. We told our people, vote for president, National Assembly, don't vote for APC. And we achieved it. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong in president giving you ministerial slot. But mind you, he's a president. There are things you don't know that he knows. If the president has called you and said, look, listen, there are other things. When he said me benefit, what did I benefit? The benefit is that the position that will come to River State, take for example, REC, National Population Commission, will you be given to anybody other than Rivers people? That is the outcome. The position that will go to NDDC, River State must be represented. Will you be given to, because you're a G5, you go and give it to somebody from Oyo? No. No. As a minister, I have a duty to also make sure those of them who were all together also benefit in other ways. It's not only appointment. Like I said, why did the president give such an approval if the president does not mean well for him?
But you benefited the Treasury single account, which...
What's my benefit of single account?
Oh, Treasury single account. What kind of question is? What kind of submission is that? So treasury single account is not his personal account now. What is he talking about? Again, yeah, the G5 are struggling for it. Yeah, they are really struggling for relevance right now. I don't even know like if they're gonna be relevant outside, outside whatever Tinubu wants them to be. Because even they can't go back home, right? The benefit. Yeah, I think WIKE did negotiate very well. I think WIKE negotiated very well. I'm not sure SEYI really knows what he's doing, to be honest with you. The benefit was the FCA. Fubara is only not smart enough to outwit him now that Tinubu needs him. Yeah, and again, I don't know how far Fubara will go because even people dealing with Fubara also understands that this guy actually fought with his benefactor. So again, I don't know.
It's using my money that as a president, look, if you want anything to improve in FCT, pull us out for a single treasury. What is the essence of single treasury account? We are not revenue collector for the federal government. So why should we be a single treasury account? So it's not personal to me. It's for FCT to move on. And they have seen the benefit. So if someone say, I benefited, what did I benefit? It's the resident for me to do my job, which I'm doing today. If we are still in a single treasury account, it would have been difficult to carry out some, because at that time, we don't have we can't go to bank to borrow. Because the bank will say, what is the collateral? The money will not go to them, you go to central bank. But now, with putting out of single treasury account, we have access to go to the bank to say, listen, we will deposit our IGR, collect social amount of money from our IGR every month. Give us this loan to be able to carry out our infrastructure. So that is the benefit. It has nothing to do with personal. No.
All right. We're going on a break shortly, but I'm sure Rotus will.
Yes.
The minister is talking about.
Yes, we're still on Seyi Makinde. So I want to clarify if Seyi Makinde, from your perspective, is someone who can be trusted, right? You've said he's lied about the meeting.
Yeah.
The $1 million seems like it's an exaggeration. You've mentioned the amount of money the states have made from IGR after the subsidies are removed, right? 2.4 trillion last year to 3.6 or 2.20 2024. All the states have benefited. Now, former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, said that Makinde misappropriated those funds. The Oyo State chapter of the ADC has come out to say that they should account for the money. His aide in his cabinet came out to say that it was actually, I think, about 30 billion that had been disbursed. And
that's
so far,
a lot of money.
From the government. And then if disbursed about 4.5 or so. Can he be trusted on the use of these funds from the government?
Well, I have no power. It is the people there. First of all, if such money, whether it is 1 billion naira, was given to you by Mr. President, approved by Mr. President, you owe a duty to tell your people, see what President has done for us, and I will appropriate it and make sure it is put in the budget for people to know we are getting this money from based on the promise Mr. President.
I didn't even know it got so much on that bomb. I think it was a gas explosion or something. You should ask how much you paid those journalists, right? Are they giving him softballs? Question. Go and ask Makinde. Yeah, I didn't even know he got 30 billion. I'm not so sure if that damage was up to a 30 billion stuff. It wasn't really a massive, I mean, yeah, things got destroyed and all that, but 30 billion, that's a lot of money. Yeah, good morning, VIW.
Right? But you see, it's unfortunate, people didn't know. Now, because of this incident, people are like, but you collected so money. And then his aide is say, no, it's only 30 billion. Fine. Whether it's only 30 billion or 1 billion, did you tell all your state people?
Yeah.
That Mr. President, by his own magnanimity, approved this for you. So it now behoves on your people to say whether such a person can be trusted or not. Because if I don't trust, am I going to vote? Yeah. No. But if you say politically, as we concern political relationship, I'll be afraid. And you know, one thing with me, I need to ask anybody. That's why.
Oh, here we go again. Okay.
It's difficult to have long-standing relationship with me. Why? I hate anything that has to do with distrust. I hate
I'm so sorry.
Anything has to do with, look,
Okay, here we go again. Let me see. Let me just close some of this thing. I can't. I was trying to figure out.
And I said, look,
sorry, I was just trying to figure out that thing, and anytime I just open another slide, it becomes a problem. Sorry about that.
Agreed on this thing. And then I see the statement guys taking, which is not in tandem with what you have agreed. Have to be very careful with such a character. Okay. In fact, I wasn't the situation to even go and lie. It could have, if you have even said, we, well, that's what we're discussing. That I said so. Well, I was okay. But to say,
yeah, I got that too, the distrust, right?
The president, first of all, who had those in that meeting? You said Chief of Staff, you didn't mention former governor of Abia. You didn't mention former governor of Benue. You didn't mention former governor of Enugu. What was the purpose of that meeting? Who called for the meeting? The president called you for the meeting. We went and said, look, we want to see president. And president said, okay, come to the house. We went to the house, as usual. And said, look, sir, we are still available. We'll still work together. So what is the issue of saying that we had a meeting and to start with, SEYI cannot. He does not have what it takes to tell me that. He does not have it. He knows. He never called me wicked. In fact, that's why when I watch him, I say, wicked. SEYI knows he does not have that. And to hell with it, he said $1 million. Who knows? What's my business? $1 million. Did he pay my school fees? Did he pay all your state people their school fees?
Yeah, again, don't try wicked politically wicked. Anyway, wicked MAKINDE is not like we said before, he's not really, he's a lightweight. SEYI MAKINDE should have told the Oyo people that the president gave them money after the explosion. That goes to say he cannot be trusted. I'm just even surprised that they're even now coming out to say it wasn't 50 billion, it was 30 billion. So how was that spent? Didn't that go through the state assembly? Kind of, On a serious note, though, that was not wise of MAKINDE to go and expose their discussion with. Yeah, you don't. Even there's been a lot of times when you better just not comment. Oh, I don't discuss, matter of whatever with the president. So now, if they're in a meeting, because it's still a governor, and no matter your personal vendetta with your political adversaries, or people that you're actually, juggling for position and fighting with, you have to also still understand that your people, who you are actually elected to represent, should still be your primary interest. So right now, for the remainder of your tenure, you're now having a kind of a friction with the president, which, again, it's fine. He has a right to do that. But again, you have to also look at it that what about other things that could still be beneficial to the people that you're representing and the people that you're serving? You don't want to be picking a fight with the presidency at this point, in my own opinion, or at least even if you pick a fight, still ensure that business can go on. Yeah, you cannot. Like, if they want to have serious discussion now on something that is kind of, highly confidential, it's going to be very difficult. Again, I guess he's also trying to play his hand. And I think it's bitter, to be honest with you. He lost a lot of seats at the National Assembly because he supported Tinubu. People just voted down ballot. And that's the problem, But again, he should have told people about that money. People should know. Because I know that some people that had their property impacted, I'm not even sure if they got the full, if they got the full monies to be able to restore their property to the pre-disaster level. On the serious, and that's the problem. What that means is you can't actually have a discussion with him. Yeah.
We need to go on a quick break now. We know it's your in-law.
Yeah, you've been going on break for so many times.
By your first name. If he wants to.
No, that is a disrespect. That's not my name. That's my father's name.
Okay.
He cannot do that. He has never done that.
Wiki,
He
right?
don't know how what it takes.
Right.
Forget that he's a governor.
Okay.
He gets more money than that mean FCT.
All right.
He said that he has not
Shall we put on the lead? Shall we put the lead on it for
FCT.
now? Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, you've been issuing this threat of January. Politics will start in January, and it's as if everybody's running up and down. What is going to happen in January? When we come back from this break, that will be our starting point. We're on a break now.
Watching the conversation we're having with the minister.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of WIKE, but again, like I don't even necessarily like WIKE, but I think number one, he likes talking a lot. So, and again, people like when he talks, he kind of speaks, right? He has a way he speaks that people either, people get clips from it and all that. WIKE is like a stan. Whoever is going to eat with WIKE should go with a long spoon. WIKE has proven to be somebody you cannot trust. At some point, politicians will be avoiding him. Yeah, again, it depends on where you fall. So I think WIKE is more like I don't want to call him double-edged. He could go all out because I've had people in PDP. I'm still surprised on how he was able to amass so much influence in the PDP. To be honest with you, like this guy actually almost won the primaries against an article that they had to actually change the rules of the game during the primaries. That's how, and again, this guy started out as just one guy out there. People say, okay, fine, was a local government chairman when some other people were real gladiators in the Nigerian political scene. But the guy, to be honest with you, has actually been able to effectively fight his way either by hook or crook. But again, it is what it is.
Of the Federal Capital Territory is NYESOME WIKE in his country home here in Port Harcourt. Just before we went on break, Mr. Benga had already teased that we were going to be doing switching conversations or switching gears and talking about the talk you had about politics starting in January, especially as regards what has been happening back home here in Port Harcourt. One of the incidences that happened this year was the state of emergency declared in your home state, which you had said you were not happy about.
Okay, yeah.
But much later it was seen that peace was achieved. Some truth was gotten to. But in recent days, it appears that peace which was achieved is now shaking somewhat.
What's wrong with these people now?
It appears that all is not well at home. So this is coming on against the backdrop of comments by the governor of the state, Nalai Fubara, that it seems that he's now been given the all clear to join the All Progressives Congress. Is this a part of the plan? Or is this something that has happened behind your back? Is this something that you are aware of? Because the comments that you have made in recent times suggest that you might not be happy with that particular development.
I cannot say that I have any right to stop somebody from associating with any party or whatever. And from what you've said, there's nothing left that anybody will say that why you still want to remain in PDP because of the leadership tussle. The only thing I say is that somebody would think that when you say your mandate will stand, that gives you automatic ticket. And that's what I said though, that does not give anybody automatic ticket. You have to work, you have to earn the ticket for you to be able to represent your people.
No, but again, let me just read this. WIKE used 8 years to create a structure, was trying to replicate. Yeah, exactly. That was what it was trying to do. It was focused and created a structure. He made it an ambition before and during his governorship term. Yeah, he tried to do that, but again, I think he failed in the area of having Fubara come in because he felt like he was going to be able to control Fubara, but Fubara was very difficult for him to control. And this was what I was saying, that, him talking about Fubara saying that because he's singing on your mandate, he's going to get a ticket. That's Fubara's business, and that's his business with APC. WIKE is not an APC member, so I think he should just focus on possibly building up the PDP member that is going to run against whoever the APC puts on. What made WIKE catch some traction nationally was because of loads of River State money. Yeah, I agree with that. It gives out to buy people over, just like Tinubu. Otherwise, he's not a likable person. When this guy started, I never really like. I still don't like him, to be honest with you. And again, I just try to be kind of indifferent, and just just report on whatever I see. I just saw this guy always fighting. Then it was what's it called, Amechi. Always fighting, always talking, and he talks anyhow. And he's kind of, again, his rallies were kind of a little bit fun to be at with his songs and all that. And at the end of the day, I was surprised that, people were listening to him, but I guess it's the money. I was surprised that people were listening to him. It's quite interesting. Because I never even I didn't find him to be likable at all. Fubara still wet behind the ears. He's a technocrat getting a crash course in politics. In Rivers, no less. He will learn quick. Yeah, I think now you have people that were against WIKE, when he was supporting Fubara to be governor, now teaming up with Fubara to fight WIKE. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Do you remember when WIKE insulted the king in front of the king? Oh, I don't even know, you small boy. Oh, I think I remember that. Was that guy a king? I think it was just a, I thought it was like a chief, right? Then at times the way he talks, like there was one like that. It was in a meeting, and sorry, I'll continue playing this. I just wanted to state this. It was in a meeting, and then as he was talking, the way he talks, and then one of these guys, I think that guy was a chief, the guy just sat down, and then the guy was nodding his head. Just kind of, okay, fine, I understand. And he said, you nodding your head there. You are nodding your head now. We know what you are doing. You're a very, very bad person. The other way was saying it. Unfortunately, I can't be searching for all this script because my internet is just messing me up today. Do you remember he gave Sokoto governor 500 million when they had a disaster? Wow, I didn't even know that. I've forgotten that one. Yeah, so they said the guy kind of moves money around. And all those monies ideally should be for the development of River States. The same thing Tinubu does, though. Now, Tinubu uses alpha beta to actually control politics. That's what Tinubu uses.
So many governors have left PDP. I have been accused, if you remember, so many governors have accused me that I'm working for Tinubu APC to be able to destroy PDP. But the same people have also left PDP to go to APC. So they're not surprising that my governor had to go to APC. No, they're not surprising. It doesn't need my clearance. I'm not the owner of APC. So it doesn't need my clearance for him to say that. It's natural. You saw that assembly people left for APC. You saw that all the party council chairmen left for APC. It's natural that the governor will also have to leave for APC.
Yeah, but the comments you have made suggest that these are developments that you are not happy with. So, for instance, in recent times, you had a meeting with leaders from Obiakpo and other local governments around the Query saying that we cannot be used and dumped. Agreement is agreement, and other such comments. And people are suggesting that this has to do with the defection of the governor. This also has, and you can correct us if we're wrong, does this have anything to do with your relationship with the president? Because there'll be questions as to who is using who and who is dumping who.
No, it has nothing to do with the president at all. Let me make that clear. It has nothing to do with the president. I had to go to Tor to thank people. Remember, if you are not in the States and you are away, the likelihood that people may want to be able to change their mind towards your leadership. And then you find out again that despite the fact that you're away, people are still willing to be with you. And this period demands that, look, go back to them and say thank you for standing with me all this period. And because showing gratitude is one thing that God loves so much. And if you show gratitude, the likelihood that you get more things. So what I said about that is that, look, so many things were rich, and we believe that the other party, the assembly, and the other parties have been able to, play their own part. And it's expected that the governor and some people should be able to play their own part. If that part is not being played, and then you think that the only way you can achieve it is by saying, okay, let me join the party where the president belongs to. No. What was saying, look, there was a truth. And certain things were agreed. And there's a need for you to fulfill those things. And the assembly should also be able to fulfill their own part. So that's what the point I'm making, not a question of using me and dumping me. No, that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but again, I think the agreement was just too much, showing support is, I mean, thanks for the call out. Thanks guys for watching. For those who have not subscribed, I would appreciate if you could do that. I really do appreciate your help. Hi Abayomi, and hi others for joining. Yeah, food for thought. If our beta was such a success, why did it need to call the French government for capacity building with tax collection? I think it's a deal. I think he's making a deal with the French government. I think there might be another side to that we don't see. Remember, the way he runs his government like a mafia. I think he has a deal that he has made with the French government, and that's a problem. I don't trust the French government at all. These guys are being pursued from other countries where they've had substantial influence. I don't think it's time for us to open our doors to them. And it's made so much money. Tinubu from Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta is the tax collection arm that Tinubu owns. And he uses that tax collection, to serve Lagos and some other states. I must confess, I never liked WIKE as he wants to be like what Tinubu is to Lagos. That's why he fought for Barato. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And he's talking now about the truce. What was the truce? So I guess it has to do with money and appointment. Those are the two things. Appointment and money. Of course, contract, when I say money, that's, it could be contracts, it could be jobs, it could be different kind of stuff, So I guess that was what Fubara said, no, I'm going to cut these and I'm going to do things my way. And I think that's where things went south between both of them. Politically, WIKE can be president. No politician in their right mind will choose him as VP. Mathematically, WIKE doesn't even add up to VP. What's left for him? Set it to an appointment. I think it's just an appointment. It's going to help Tinubu win the 2027 if he wins. And then it's going to be maybe the second time FCT minister. And after that, I don't see much for him, but never say never, right? WIKE to me believes that he's stronger in leadership more than any other previous governors from Rivers State. Otherwise, he should have known that his tenure has finished. Exactly. It feels like he could actually, and that's what really has been happening. Amechi did his own left, WIKE did his own. But WIKE was kind of able to still control things. Even when Amechi was governor, this WIKE was actually using Abuja's might to terrorize Amechi, even before he became a governor. Because I remember then, he was part of the patient's Jonathan's cabal. And it was actually frustrating. It was actually frustrating Amechi at the time. WIKE to me believes it's stronger. Yeah, again, that's it.
Follow up to Mokwet's question. One of the contentious areas of the disagreement before the state of emergency was imposed was this issue of structures. And so this morning we saw on TV that the governor has sent emissaries to his local government to collapse the PDP structure there to APC. And so is structure likely to be a fresh point of disagreement between you and the governor?
I don't know about collapsing. The chairman of the council there is APC. And like I rightly told you here, there are 22 local governments. Out of the 22 local governments, you have about 20 being APC and two being PDP. The likelihood that those two will join APC. And if they do that, it means that working together, they have to collapse whatever structure they have. First of all, when you say you are joining the party, there was something you have to offer, right? Like some other states did. The governor is moving. You have assembly to move it. You have council chairman to move it. You have party chairman to move it. You have national assembly to move it. But in this case, who These people have already left on their own, by their own volition. The National Assembly was one that took the first decision. Remember, when the National Assembly defected before, they did not defect. All they said, on your mandate, we stand. That is not defection. Because all they say is that we're going to support Mr. President. Yeah. And then the night came out to say, well, this time around, in supporting Mr. President, we have to join his party. And the same thing has happened to the other candidates of PDP who say, look, we're also defecting to APC. So it has nothing to do with the local government collapsing APC, PDP structure. For here in River State, I can tell you, we have always maintained that Mr. President will be supported. Whether you're in PDP, whether you're in APC, all of us have maintained that we have to support a president. This is not the first time. We did it in 2023. Even when we were in PDP, we supported Mr. President. But the point I'm trying to make is that so many people are now thinking that the moment you shout on your mandate, it becomes, that is automatic that you have a ticket. I said, no, that does, supporting president has nothing to do with that. We are supporting president. Does not mean that we must have automatic ticket. We are supporting president based on certain factors, which we have seen several.
Yeah, but again, I cannot get that. At the end of the day, right? So just two PDP local council chairman. I mean, it's over. I really hope you understand what he's doing. I have a feeling this will boomerang in his face. Yeah, I think it's already boomeranging. The old structure. Now, okay, look at that question. They're sending. So one of the mistakes he made, okay, and again, he didn't learn well from Tinubu, and Tinubu is smarter than him. One of the mistakes he made, Tinubu would have never made a mistake of putting a politically astute person. When I read about Fubara, I learned that Fubara also is a grassroots guy. That he did a lot of grassroots work for WIKE when he was his accountant general then. You want someone that is a technocrat that really, really is not involved in the day-to-day, politics, mobilization, and all of that. So that was why Fashola was able to still fight with Tinubu because they all fight. But Tinubu was still able to hold the party structure. The same thing that worked for Tinubu, and that's one thing that I still don't like, the way the oppositions are operating. Tinubu ensured that, he supported Buhari. Even though Buhari was actually, kind of the one that had the clout and the nod and all that, it was just a simple math. But outside that, he made sure that even though Tinubu and Buhari is the president, Buhari was someone that was not that interested in party politics. And that was it. So if you look at what Tinubu supports, even at the state level, even at the federal government level, it was just basically, I'm going to put somebody that would be president, be governor, but I must never lose the party structure. And that's why he decided that whatever happens, that party structure is still in his hand. But unfortunately, WIKE, I don't even know. I don't know. Right now it's kind of boomeranging, like you rightly said. I hope his two sons doesn't take after their father. Those talks in trade is to lie and betray and call it politics. I hope so too. But I like he's been allocating lands for his kids, right, in Abuja. That's what those guys now have, a lot of large mass of land. All this administration would do in 2026. It's politics now. He's been saying it. He's been hinting come January 1st. And they've started. If you can see what's happening now, you saw Aragbeshola in Lagos today. You could see the ADC guys also. Peter Obi in his space yesterday, trying to talk about him joining the ADC and that he's going to go for presidency and all those stuff, to the extent that he even talked about, a lot of stuff that, he's been traveling around the world so that he can become president. Also, Tinubu would never have confronted his boy politically. He would use the party members and elders of the party to communicate. Exactly. You know what he did? Even in Lagos, they have this GAC, right? More like a pseudo leadership stuff where it's all these elder statesmen. that come in to intervene, and all these people kind of hold their people down and to hold that structure. Now, again, maybe it's not the perfect thing. Maybe it's not the best thing. Because, again, when you're done with your governorship, you should move on. But that's the context, okay, of Nigerian politics. That may not be the optimum thing that should be done, though.
Let me just say, but in here. The question people are asking is how much longer do you have left in the PDP with all the people around you, the local government chairman, literally all the local government chairmen in your state in the APC now, your governor too in the APC, federal lawmakers in the APC. So how much longer
what are you
going to remain in the PDP?
Oh, the main fact that people have left and gone to APC does not mean I have to leave. No. It's not correct.
So are you a member of the PDP?
I'm a member of PDP. That's why I'm still there. That's why you still say he's not happy.
Even when all those around you, all your foot soldiers are all in APC?
No, it's not correct. That you're a member of the assembly or a council chairman or a member of that assembly does not mean that there are no other persons. It's not correct. It's not correct.
But that's what constitutes the structure in the real sense of...
Well, you may think so.
No, fair question.
But there are also structures in terms of party.
But then again, there are structures in terms of party to what end? When you have all the, I mean, you can no longer, you can't be a leader when people are not following. And all your followers have gone to APC, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it.
So if you are working for the president and you are not a member of his party, and the governor is a member of his party and is working for the president, don't you think that at some point there may be clashes, particularly as to who decides what? When he defected, for instance, we saw the party's national machinery moved in his favor to receive him.
Where?
It was registered with so much fanfare, giving membership 001, and he also declared and proclaimed himself the leader of the APC in Rivers State. Where does that leave you?
Can I tell you something? When he said fanfare, he come to APC with who? He said, what is 001?
That's his membership.
Let me tell you, there's nothing like in the state 001. You register in your ward and your local government.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
It's in your ward. So if you are 001, it is in your ward. There's nothing like state registration called 001. There's nothing like I've registered in the state as 001. Everybody registered in his own ward. You could be the first person to register by virtue of your position.
But operationally, as a sitting governor,
yes,
he becomes the leader of the party.
I don't know about that.
How would you not know that?
I don't know about that. Because if he says so, who's the leader of APC in the Lagos State?
The governor.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't work that way. Hi, Adebayo. Again, yeah, what's left for him? I wonder the kind of agreement these lots have. We are in a jungle politically. Yeah, exactly. I agree with the question you've given out. All the structure is gone. But again, I'm waiting to see what happens in 2026. I'm waiting to see how he emerges from this. If he can emerge from this, then it would have been it would be a political gladiator. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because he doesn't have the, before this guy defected, and as at the time when they were planning his impeachment, that's Fubara's impeachment, I felt like, this guy was in charge. But right now, I don't think he's in charge. And again, rightly so, okay, that's a very good counterpunch there when he asks that who is in charge of Lagos State. It's not Jide, right? Because if Jide was in charge of Lagos State, they won't bring back this guy. Is he Obaseki, right? No, not Obaseki. What's his name again? The speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa. They won't bring him back. He had to go to Abuja to meet with Tinubu before he could be actually brought back. So again, I don't know. When Adedibu was in Ibadan, no governor actually owned that structure. It was Adedibu that held that structure, unfortunately, and made Ibadan retrogress. And Obasanjo also enabled him at the time. So I don't know.
There are exceptions to the
I don't
rule.
know.
Yeah.
There are exceptions to the rule. Assuming it's a rule.
And the leader of NMPP in Kano is Kwankwaso.
Oh, hi. So let's not go into all those kind of things. See, leadership is not because I'm a governor. Leadership is not because I'm a minister. You must have something that makes you a leader. Today, if I say I want to go to APC, that will be the end of even talking about it. I'm not going to. You will see other states. You will see other states joining. Leaders in other states who are in PDP will join. That's what they call a leader. I'm not a leader that's concentrated in the state. No. If today I say, look, gentlemen, we have had enough of PDP, we have to move. Watch those who would the camp in Benue. Watch those who would the camp in Plateau. Watch those who would the camp in Abia. Watch those who would the camp in Edo.
Before the governor's movement to the APC, was there any kind of conversation between the two of you?
Before that, the guy is trying to make himself a national political grandfather. So calling all those states, see those who would defect. I foresee a situation where WIKE will become the person, any presidential candidate from other geopolitical zone we use to discredit a Southeast presidential candidate in the future because he's Igbo. I mean, I think this guy he will be to you whatever you want him to be at the end of the day. Kano is another example, except if Kwankwaso is aligned with the governor. I look forward to things unfolding there too. Yeah, I need to even get myself up to speed with what is happening. I think the governor is set to defect to APC from what I heard. I'm not sure if I'm correct with that, but I also heard that like Kano might also be moving over to the APC.
You didn't know that was going to happen because before that time, before that time, the governor had been in the public seen complaining or responding to people who accuse him of abandoning the peace pact, and that is that it was not him that ought to advance the peace pact. That the leader of our leader ought to have called the meeting of everybody and all of that. That didn't happen, and it shouldn't be seen to be jumping the gun. And then days to when he was going to join the APC, he started commissioning projects, and there were things he started saying that those people, if you want to support Tinubu, don't follow no corner, and all of that.
I don't know who is supporting Tinubu and following corner.
Well, he was referring to you.
Wouldn't that be a direct reference?
How could that be when the whole Nigeria knows that I'm one supporter of Tinubu? What is corner? When I have stated openly that is what I will do. When the whole governors of PDP had accused me that I'm working for Tinubu, so how could that be a corner?
Yeah, but what happened to that peace pact? What happened to it?
If I'm doing corner, the assembly people will not go. The council chairman won't go. If they won't go. And let me tell you, I've always stated this, that why most people don't trust politicians is this issue that people don't keep to their words, and which is very wrong.
Okay.
I don't want to be that politician. I want to be a politician that I have said something and go and sleep. This is what I've said. You don't need to think about it. Everybody knows that. Well, once I said this is what I would do, I would do it.
From all I can hear, clearly all is not well.
No, it's not well.
All is not well.
It's not about all is not well. All can never be well.
Why can't all be well?
No, in politics all can never be well.
But most things should be well in politics.
But that's why nobody's fighting.
Because it was alleged that there was a meeting, I think, that you brokered in Abuja. The governor was present and all of that.
Look,
and there were certain things that were to follow.
I have always said that what I don't like people who are economical with the truth. And I don't like that. The governor cannot say that I have not brokered a meeting between him, Speaker, and the leadership of the House. The governor cannot say that I have not brokered a meeting between the elders, which he was present in Chief Alabama South. You see, that's why, I don't like politicians who are economical with truth. There are things that shouldn't come to the national television to begin to talk about. Because it means that you are not matured. But that's why I said here, can SEYI in his conscience say this and this and that? Can the governor in his conscience say, no, there was no meeting that was held between himself, speaker, and the leader?
Yeah, and there was some conditions.
Would you say that they will never call a meeting of the elders' council? See, look, I'm a politician. There are certain steps you take. There are certain steps you should take that people will know that indeed you are serious about this. Take for example, nobody told me to go and visit the assembly. I have to look, I'm a politician. Assembly, I'm coming to visit you tomorrow to say thank you for your support. I don't need anybody to tell me that. I don't need anybody to tell me I call National Assembly this festive period. Thank you. We all work together. I believe we continue to work together. Nobody will tell me as a politician. I call party chairman to say, look, people have been here, giving us support all this while. I know we continue to work together. I don't need anybody to say I should do that. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody to say, look, to call, look, how are you? This is, I wish you Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. I don't need anybody to tell me to do that. And these are things I talk about, whether you are serious. There are steps you take. So when somebody says, the governor, that I'm going to call a meeting, first of all, it behoves on you too. What role have you been playing? It's very laughable.
So this peace deal
take for example now, no, just take for example. What stops you to put a call to the speaker? Speaker, how are you? How you doing with the Christmas? I wish you prosperous New Year. Do you need me to call a meeting for you to wish them Happy New Year? Come on. And people like to, that's why I say it depends on what's in your mind.
Okay.
And people also believe that the moment you say you are working for Tinubu, it means that.
Also,
no. I have said, assuming PDP does not have crisis now, how many people would have left PDP? How many people was able to say whether they are PDP or not, I will support Tinubu? So the issue of saying, who? This is the man who the whole Nigerians have known clearly. Ask, how many ministers have been abused the way I'm being abused? Why? Everybody knows my stand. Everybody knows my position. It's not hidden. So when people say, don't follow, who is following Korakana? Who? When you know, you the journalist know, this is WIKE's role. What's it been?
I'm talking about knowing that politics you think you know will soon choke you. We're also waiting. 2026 will be interesting. On both level.
President, and he has supported president. I don't think after, like I said before, after president are the most abused politician. Why are they abusing me? Why are they not happy?
So can I say, is it safe to say then that this truce that was achieved this year is now gone to the wind?
I don't know.
And if the governor said he is not going to represent the 2025 budget, because we understand that was also an issue. If he was not going to represent it because the sole administrator had already presented that budget to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly already passed a 2025 budget for Rivers State. If anybody is talking about the budget, it should be 2026. If the governor's argument is along that line, will it not be right?
That's why I'm saying that. See, when you say right, that's not like right in politics.
Well,
politics is give and take. Let me tell you. You see, you must take such a stand when you know you're in control. You don't take a stand when you know you're not in control. You don't do that. Nobody does that in politics. Okay, take for example, I can tell you this. In 2025, the president was to go and present budget, in 2025 budget.
2026, you mean?
No, 2025.
Okay.
He got intelligence that there are some things moving on in National Assembly. He shifted it and called the leadership for discussion. And they discussed. And then he moved on to go and present the budget. You cannot say, I would do, I wouldn't. No. Nobody does that in politics. Nobody does that. You should know that, see, even if you have the control of the house, you must not take them for granted. Politics, look at the United States, the Congress.
Okay.
They move left, right, and center. But the president has to go and lobby, right? Don't do that in politics. It's give and take. So there are things that you do underground. Even me, as I'm preparing my 2026 budget, which I will send to Mr. President, and Mr. President will send to the National Assembly, I must talk with the House Committee. I must talk with the Senate Committee.
And now that you just mentioned,
in charge of FCT.
You just mentioned the senator or the Senate Committee in charge of the FCT. What about the senator who was elected from the FCT?
Yeah.
Whose relationship with you has been a bit frosty, and since she was elected.
That's again when I say I don't like people who play double standard. You see, politicians should be careful. Why? Okay, let me show you, as if I knew. The senator wrote me a letter.
Senator Ireti Kingibe?
Yes, wrote me a letter.
Recently?
Yes. Showing appreciation what I'm doing in Abuja.
This is the SEYI MAKINDE style. You are bringing out
documents from... No, let me tell you. Because I said, let me tell you. This has nothing to do with $1 million.
Okay. We insist on reading that letter so that we can be sure what is inside.
Look at it. It was dated 14th November 2025.
That's like a month plus.
His Excellency, NYESOME with the Honorable Minister of City. Appreciation for the rehabilitation of Kunene Street Road, Maitama. I write to express my appreciation to you and the Federal Capital Development Administration for the recent rehabilitation and fixing of the road in Kunene Street, Maitama. On behalf of my fellow residents, please accept my heartfelt thanks and that of the community for your dedication, for your dedication to service and your continuous efforts in ensuring that Abuja remains a model. Kindly be assured.
Yeah, but she was at the National Assembly saying that the waste management in Abuja is bad. Again, WIKE doesn't like double standards. Wow. I mean, yeah, the guy is just
in advancing the development goals of the Federal Capital Territory. Sincerely, Senator Ireti Kingibe.
Okay.
Thanking me for my dedication to making sure Abuja remains a model city.
It doesn't remove the fact...
I'm coming to refer.
Yeah.
So if we have that kind of relationship you're talking about, what are we this? The point is...
Just a moment, Your Excellency. Are you saying then that you're collaborating with her or that you're consulting with her?
The point is that it shouldn't be something personal. The only person I should talk about is the president, whom I'm owed a duty, where he is my appointer, who appointed me, right? Now, I relate with the committees. Overseeing the affairs of the FCT.
Okay.
And luckily, she's a member of that committee, right? So, in anything I'm doing as far as FCC concerned, I relate to that committee, which is a member. It's not something personal to say I must have a personal relationship. No. As long as I say we should not reduce governance to that level. The moment I have a relationship with the committee overseeing the affairs of the Senate, of the FCT, and you're a member of that committee, that is enough.
But you heard only recently, the senators were upset. They raised this issue of Abuja being filthy on the floor of the Senate. I'm sure you also heard her contributions as well.
No, that's not what happened. See, she raised a motion of urgent national urgency. And by their rules, what is urgent here? You see, Nigerians, we should learn how to appreciate when people do things.
No, but there were a lot of reports, there were a lot of stuff being said, and again, that Abuja is becoming, a lot of places in Abuja is turning into a waste. You have a heap of waste all around the place because it wasn't handled well, and that was why they had to bring it to the Senate. I mean, if everything was okay, then you can't bring such a motion to the Senate. You're going to be regarded as dumb, right, for doing that. So again, I just want to know what it's going to say about this. Hi, Oluwale.
You have commended me for making Abuja to be a model city. If that is correct, the mere fact that there are 2 areas that you think have not been done well does not generally mean that you are not doing well in Abuja. No. And I've told people to learn this. That today, look at what Abuja used to be in the past 10 years. You see what it is today, which means that's appreciable improvement in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of... When we came on board, you cannot, without security, in terms of sanitation, it was bad. And I told you, we never gave us a job. It was given by the previous administration. And they are telling how to expect before you go. And then you have to do a procurement. And it is not easy. And by now...
Yeah, but again, by now, you should be able to have, handled that very well. It's complaining about the procedure instead of addressing the issue. Yeah.
You see that there's a change. Yes, before there was. Because we had to do new procurement for new people to take over the sanitation matter. And we must be patient. But you cannot have a modern city which you have appreciated me, and then you now go back to say Abuja is filthy. Okay. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
What makes a modern city?
Your Excellency.
If a city is dirty, it cannot be a modern city. If there's no infrastructure, it cannot be a modern city.
Yeah, fair enough.
If there's no security, it cannot be a modern city.
All right. Festus has the next question.
Yes. Let's go back squarely to 2027 politics.
Yeah.
And you just said that politics will start. You will start politics fully in January.
Yes.
Most people think that what's going to happen in 2027 will be a rematch of 2023. But so much has changed between 2023 and now. Today, APC has well over 28 governors, and your party, at least your nominal party, is in legal coma. The party that appears to be rising is ADC.
ADC, right?
How much do you rate the chances of that party? Because we also understand that on January 1, Obi will be joining APC formally. ADC formally. And people have said that if the opposition had come together in 2023, they will have had a better chance of defeating the incumbents. So today, how do you rate the chances of what is now the left of the opposition against the president? Do you agree that it will be a rematch of 2023?
Now, let me tell you something. It's really unfortunate. I've said it clearly. And whether anybody wants to believe it or not. If there should be any opposition that will give fight to APC, it should have been PDP.
Yes.
I don't know where you are saying that ADC is rising. I don't know where they are rising. Mention the state where they are rising. Mention. You see, I don't like this newspaper politics. Every politics is local. As per the issue of presidency, we have agreed. But those who are supporting us, now look, it's likely that PDP cannot have that chance now to take over the presidency. That does not mean that PDP cannot win a state. That does not mean that PDP cannot win a state. You must
fair enough.
Take, for example, if I come to Rivers State now, for example, and I say I'm going to support PDP, for example, or PDP is going to get a gubernatorial the tendency is that council chairman, House of Assembly will support that. It's leadership. I've always told you, when people have confidence in you, don't betray it. And that confidence, as far as I'm concerned, You cannot take it away as far as Rivers State is concerned. You cannot. You can't. You can't. You see, look at the local structure. Who are those who are council chairmen today? Who are the councillors today? So it is difficult, no matter the amount of money you have, for you to uproot that. It's going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be very, very difficult. If our own team says we're going to support you for governorship, you go home and sleep. If we say we won't support you, you have to fight it hard. That's the point I'm trying to make. So when I say politics general, let me tell you.
Okay, so again, that's it. Can you please listen to the public? I don't know what that is. If there's no waste management, it cannot be a model. Exactly. I don't know why she'll be writing. Again, I don't know why she'll be writing that. Possibly she's trying to get something. I don't know why Senator King Igbe wrote, that letter praising him when she was just few days ago, at the Senate hearing, saying that Abuja's waste management is actually is in a mess. Yeah, exactly. What happens to water, electricity, education in terms of learning materials, etc. Exactly. I mean, that's a good question. At least for water and education, I think that falls under his portfolio. For electricity, maybe not directly. Hi, Ige. Thanks for the follow. Hi, studio. Stupid people leading. Well, that's the reality we're facing in Nigeria.
Why is it so? Next year is a political year. Why is it a political year? Yeah. Primaries will take place in the various political parties. Yeah. So as a politician, you have to let everyone listen.
Yep, I will be here
to
cover
it. We have to organize ourselves. We have to be ready to play this politics now. We have taken 2 years talking about infrastructure in Abuja. We have taken 2 years talking about security in Abuja. We have taken 2 years to talk how do we fix the sanitation. Listen, area councils will take place in Abuja in February, right? Do you think, as it is today, that PDP will win that election in the area council?
We'll see.
With what the administration of the president has done, it will be difficult.
What of Labour?
It will be difficult. What about what?
Labour.
Yeah, that's also what I've said. But you see, for you to win, you must put your house, that it is not easy. And let us tell ourselves the simple truth. See what is happening in Abuja today. Under whose administration is that? It's under the administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And so people have that sympathy for him. It is not as if it is PDP. No. Look,
well, Abuja people don't like voting for the ruling party.
No, that's before. Because you have to show what you've done. You see, today, why would they vote for the ruling party? When you have not gone to the rural areas to do anything for them. When they have not seen anything in the city. Today, go to rural areas. See how the roads are springing up everywhere. Today in the FCT capital, see how the development is going. So why would you now say that, look, we won't vote for the ruling party?
But you know that there are parts of the elite that are not happy with what is happening in the FCT.
It's natural. It's natural. You cannot have where everybody's happy. I've already told you this.
So how are you measuring the fact that the president will win or that the area councils will go to the APC as a result?
Yeah, imagine your coach telling you that I'm not sure we can win. I mean, it's just being realistic. The way PDP is, I don't think. I mean, that's that's the boomerang that we're talking about.
So what is happening when you know that everybody might not necessarily be happy?
How do you measure
with developments in the FCT?
How do you support candidates? You support candidates based on what your party have been able to do. Let people, whether you like Asuwaju as a person or not, shouldn't be, is what has he done to change FCT?
So for some people, it may be what has he done for the FCT? But for some people, it will be what has he done for me?
No. He cannot do everything for everybody. It's not possible. Even if he stays there for 20 years, it will be difficult.
But that's a correlation that politicians need to make.
No, please. No, that's not correct. Today, if I'm supporting area council chairman, I have a reason to say, vote for this person. Why would they vote for him? They vote for him because I can count. Gwagwalada, see what we have done. Buhari, see what we have done. Abadi, see what we have done. That is the truth. Except you have a personal thing.
No, Your Excellency, let me put it like
this.
No,
let me tell you.
Okay, yeah, we can boldly saying what is happening if it's under leadership of APC. Why don't you say it's under Ahmed Tinubu double standard? Again, yeah, I think the hand is the hand of PDP, the voice is the voice of APC.
Let me tell you.
You won't even let me land on the question.
No, you have said elite.
No.
Look, let me tell you, who are these elites?
Maybe not just
where
the
elite.
Land and rent administration is a key area of concern in the Federal Capital Territory.
Yes.
There are feelings that land is being taken arbitrarily and partiality in land and rent administration. And Mope was talking about disaffection. This is potentially an explosive.
Can I tell you that? That's why there are certain decisions you take that will not be palatable to everybody. It has been like that. And when you take a decision that affects the elite, obviously, somebody has come to make a change. And that change is affecting you.
Suppose they then make political gains out of that.
Oh, how many of them? How many?
Well,
look. Take for example, in the river park, I have no business. People should know what is the history. That is a land that was given under Obasanjo's administration to some Ghanaians who go under Jonathan something. Now they came and said, look, we needed partnership with some Nigerians who will be able to help for approval for development. That's how they had the issue of Polo Homes. Polo Homes does not have any agreement with the FCT. No. And unfortunately, that lease agreement had expired. And what we did, in order not to deny Nigerians of that property they've got, it was okay. Look, Polo Home, you have no business with FCT. Jonathan something, not Jonathan as president. Sorry, you understand what
Jonah Heights.
Jonah Heights. So, now, the agreement you had with FCT had expired. But we must protect Nigerians or other people who already have gotten property. And what do? We give them direct CFO to protect them. Ordinarily, if we go by the rules, whatever you are doing with Polo Homes will not stand. Now, and I tell you, we will cancel the CFOs that the Polo Homes are giving and give to those Nigerians directly. Let them have their direct CFO, not under lease with Polo Homes. Because by law, there's no relationship. But people don't want to hear the truth. And we are saying nothing should go ahead again. And the man went to court. He went to court. Instead of him to wait the outcome of the court, he using that to say, oh, let us be developing. Nobody does that. I signed the development control directive. Go and bring the whole thing down. You can't go to court and using court to now begin to develop when you don't have the order.
Your Excellency.
No. So people should know that it is difficult. The government did not do it yesterday. Does not mean the government will not do it today. So many things happen. And you know a lot of them have complained. And now you see a government that is taking position to say, look, it can't continue this way. Yes, it will affect you. That's the sense of government. Look at this.
It's been saying a lot with respect to land allocation and all that. I mean, there's also questions that he's grabbing land and allocating to people that are his cronies and all that. WIKE, please give way to younger people. Someone said WIKE is too young. Chigozi. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Based on Nigerian standards, right? Now, this confirms what Makinde said. WIKE has vowed to remain in PDP, holding it down for Tinubu to scale through. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's doing. And it all indicates that is what he's trying to do. Right now, he doesn't even believe that PDP should have any chance at the federal, at the presidential election. And that's it. I feel terrible for Nigerians because the media are conspirators of this disaster we are facing in this country, giving voice to known and real enemies of the state. What would have been their option? To be honest with you, and I do agree that in a way the media is kind of complicit in a way in all of this because at that level, they have the budget, they have the manpower. They should actually be also, going about doing some investigations that would really, really bring out some truth. And some of them can be made with that, not just, but again, he is still a government official, and it's important that if he calls them to have a chat with them, they actually oblige him that, especially when they already had one with Makinde, and he has a right of reply to all the allegations that Makinde actually made. So that's why I think it makes sense for them to, to just come here and talk. Everybody does that. You should file an injunction alongside your response. People like WIKE should not be given airtime to continue, no matter the juicy offer is paying for the airtime. Yeah, again, as his capacity as the FCT minister, unfortunately, they are obliged to give him, that access if he really needs it. Because again, under the doctrine of freedom of speech, it's praying for airtime, and Nigeria is tough. They need to pay salaries, right? Especially now that most of these TV stations, especially Arise TV, I know Arise TV has some issues with monies. I think due to the exchange rate, all that, they had some financial challenges. So you get whatever you can.
Decision that the president took about the subsidy. It is a strong decision.
Exactly, which is where I was really going to. Because
who is benefiting from it? It has enabled the states.
You've just said the state governors.
To have more money to provide infrastructure in the state.
Your Excellency, that's the problem. You see, because a lot of politicians or governors or people with executive power always assume that infrastructure is the thing. While infrastructure is important, the quality of life of Nigerians is even more important. Are they able to eat? Do they have access to health care? What sort of schools do their children go to?
Can I tell you something?
These are the things that affect Nigerians.
I think someone asked that question here too.
The quality of life. Infrastructure does not only mean doing roads. Infrastructure has to also talk about improving the health standard, improving the quality of schools. Yeah. Today, go and see what's happening in FCT. Is there any improvement in terms of the schools?
Yeah, but we can't say that across the states. That's the point.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's not his job, right?
To give account. I am giving account in terms of FCT. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Unfortunately, it's a federal structure where the president cannot, as his school principal, begin to hold the cane and flog governors to come and account for extra monies they've gotten since subsidy was removed.
Look.
It's the people of those things that have those responsibilities.
That's what I'm saying. It is the people that will decide. But if you are saying in FCT, can they say that the improvement in terms of change of quality of life? You see, one thing I've always told people, you can also say, for example, if you don't have a good road, that will affect your life. And negatively.
It certainly will, Your Excellency. Let me concede that to you.
First thing
first. It certainly will. But let me also say...
let me finish. Let me finish. First thing first. Can you today go to work? How? Yes, because the roads have been opened up. Can you today say there's improvement in terms of our schools? Yes, they are renovating the schools.
Yeah.
Can you today say, look, there's quality? What makes quality of school?
Exactly.
I'm coming. Infrastructure is only one of the factors. Not only having teachers. No. You can have good teachers without
a good learning
What's the quality of life of those teachers?
Learning environment. You cannot. You cannot affect. So you cannot say just when you determine to say, oh, you are not doing anything. You cannot say that the government of today is not doing anything in terms of improving the quality of education.
All right.
So, one second.
Honorable Minister, Rotus has something new to throw into the mix.
Just to follow up on that, safety is what I want to ask you about, just to follow up on safety. So the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has its 2025 rankings of the states. The FCT is in the top 5. It's Lagos, Kaduna, Oyo, FCT, and Ogun State. But me talking to entrepreneurs that are there, they've talked about the roads, they've talked about the flyovers, the infrastructure, and they've commended your leadership of that. But they do talk about safety. You've seen what's been going on with the insecurity around the country and so on and so. So what are you doing to make things more safe for business owners and individuals?
And that is why we're making the environment to be enabled, to create an enabling environment for business to move on. That has to do that. You have to improve security. If you don't have good infrastructure, you cannot talk about doing business. You cannot. Let people not roll away. Our problem is that we think that these things have to be done at the same time. No, no. Take first that for government, for infrastructure, for business to improve, there must be good road network. It is very, very critical. It's one.
Okay.
Two, there must be enabling environment in terms of security. Have you improved the security in FCT? Would you say no? Would you say no? No, you can't say that.
What about that's what he's saying. That's what the report says.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you said here in terms of ranking.
Yeah.
That Abuja has improved.
Yeah, but in terms of security.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is a component of that report.
You cannot be ranked. And when there's no improvement in security, you cannot. You cannot.
What about health?
Yeah, someone asked that question about healthcare. Healthcare is next to zero. Make a statement actually. Made a statement. Healthcare is next to zero across Nigeria.
The problem about health is that, one, you will have provided, first of all, you have to talk about infrastructure in terms of health. You have to talk about it. You have to. Are we doing anything in terms of improving infrastructure in health? Certainly, yes. Yes. But you see, when you say, you cannot only take one issue for you not to say nothing is happening. It must be cumulative.
Yeah.
For you to say Abuja is doing well in terms of business. Why are they doing well in terms of business? Because certain parameters are used to judge. So it's not good when you sit down, you say, okay, this is not working. And therefore you conclude that nothing is going on in Abuja. I've told people, take things step by step. Yes. As it is today, go and see the contracts that have been awarded in terms of improvement on the schools. Not less than 200 schools, as we speak now, is going on with renovation. If the schools, you don't have good infrastructure, if you don't have the best teachers, it will not work.
Yeah, but Your Excellency, we cannot remove the place of teachers, quality teachers,
that is
quality health
that
professionals.
Is the problem you are having. You are saying that, first of all, take it that. Are they taking steps, first of all, to improve the quality of education? And what are those steps? Improvement infrastructure in terms of schools. You cannot, I have always told people this, and that is the mistake in assessment. You don't just say, oh, you cannot say things are moving when the quality of teachers. No, no, no. First of all, you talk about quality of teachers in terms of the quality in terms of training.
Yep.
You cannot say, if you have good teachers and there are no good schools, it will not work.
Can I ask you, how would you measure?
No.
Because we want to have some, we need to have some quick takeaways. We have just about 5 minutes
left.
Just about 5 minutes. And we need to have some quick takeaways. One is on the issue of...
You are asking a question.
Okay, do you want to ask?
I thought it was my time.
Okay. All right.
We cannot deny that governors have so much money at their disposal now. I know a governor who takes on the average 77 billion naira a month, one of the South-South governors.
Wow.
What advice do you have for these governors at this time? I also know a governor who admitted that he has done in 2 years what he didn't do in 4 years. In fact, it's the Kwara governor that told me this. So some of them are doing something. But in what areas do you want to see improvement on their part so that people can feel the impact of this subsidy removal that has brought in some people?
That's what I'm saying, that if the president has made it possible for you to have access to funding, what it means that you have to use such funding to improve the quality of life. How do you talk about the quality of life of citizens? You talk about good schools. You talk about good road network. You talk about improvement in
Okay, we're getting to the end of the interview, and or the media chat, whatever he decided to call it. I think that at the end of the day, the governors need to be held accountable. most of the time they actually go, they just get away with a lot of things. With the monies that they receive right now, I don't see a lot of them pulling their weights. I mean, paying salary shouldn't even be the one thing and the final thing. Each governor should still be interested in ensuring that he is able to liberate his state and make his state highly productive and highly prosperous. And I don't see that really happening at the state level. I know we all focus on the federal because it's juicy, right? It's easy targets. They're all there. You can easily see them. You can easily know what's happening.
In health, agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it will be wrong for you to say that because all these ones have not been done, therefore nothing has happened. It's wrong. I've told people that you have 4 years in office. You've taken 2 years.
No, but 2026 is politics, right?
Years, which means you still have opportunity to change things. So if I have said, look, we have done good roads, we are doing renovation of schools, that means we are taking steps to improve the quality of life. Whether anybody likes it or not, when you talk about assessment, when somebody comes to Abuja, for example, what's the first thing that matters? They will say, look, Abuja is not changing. Why is it not changing? The roads are bad. When the roads are good, then they give the story as an indicator that, okay, now things are happening.
All right.
So I have told you that we have also taken in terms of health, that we have taken number of health that we are trying to renovate and put well and provide good quality of health infrastructure. It's important.
It's very important, but I want to bring things back to Rivers State. Your body language so far today, you said you cannot say on your mandate we can stand. That gives you, a ticket to join to another party. You said as a leader you have to not break agreements. You've also said that joining a party means what can you bring, what can you deliver. Does Governor Fubara have your support for a second term in
Rivers State? Okay, that's a fair question.
Because it was you that delivered Rivers State for the president in the 2023 elections, and it seems it is you that has the control here. So can you let
I'm not
the
so
Nigerians
sure about the
know
control
that
thing.
you're both on the same team, and
As of today.
he has a second term?
That's what I've always said, that there are so many factors you have to take into consideration. Trust is very important. Even if you can provide good road network and you don't have that trust, people don't have that trust in you in terms of moving the state forward, it's a factor. It's a factor. Because in doing this, okay, take for example, if you can't work with the legislature, how can you provide good road network? How can you provide good quality of schools? So it requires unity. It requires never that I must work with the legislature.
Okay, so how you addressing that?
And that's why you have seen that at the national level, the president knows it does not only him, cannot. He needs the National Assembly to pass the budget for him, to be able to access the funds to work.
Okay.
So if you don't do that, whatever you are thinking is wrong.
As the leader in Rivers State, in order for us not to be talking about WIKE APC, Fubara APC, days after tomorrow, as the leader, what are you going to do differently to ensure that both of you work together, at least for the president? That's number one. Then two, the January, we heard from Grapevine that your talk about January is that you are embarking on local government tour. Is it a show of force? What is it really all about? Quickly, because we have just about a minute.
Now, I've told you here, first of all, that when I say I'm touring local government, the part of it is that, thank you for giving us support. We still need their support. But they will ask you, what have you done? As the federal minister, what have you done? So there must be a synergy. If there's no such synergy between the government at the state level, and the legislature, and the chairman of local government, it does not work.
So you are calling for that synergy?
I've already done that. And that's why
I mean, it's fighting. I think right now he's just fighting to keep his base. There are so many factors. Is a political talk for no. Yeah, exactly. It's just a polite way to say no, right?
How are you going to work practically to achieve that?
having synergy with legislature, having synergy, and in truth, you don't just come out on national television, say, oh, I'm providing road. Who provided funds for you? Is the legislature. Let's not deceive ourselves.
All right.
So you need is critical. Okay, if you don't work well with the legislator, if you don't, I cannot go to the legislator to provide or to have access to get you such funds. How will you change the life of the people? And people should tell you the truth.
All right, so Honorable Minister, no room for question again. We just have to end it. Thank you so much. Let me just start from my colleagues. Babajide, Utitoju, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, so yeah, that's it.
I hope it was
That's
a very
it,
good
guys.
experience.
Yes, it was fantastic. Thank you.
And Festus as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, that's Festus.
It's been a pleasure.
Malabazo.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you
Okay,
for
that's Mosokwe, right?
to
Again,
find out
yeah.
what we're doing in FCT and what is happening in the
Rivers
state. Whether you like it or not, there must be synergy. There must be.
Yes.
We'll see.
Let nobody go home and deceive you.
All right.
You cannot do it alone. You require the support. You as a governor, leadership entails that it is for you to know how to relate with.
Is that not layer behind trying to open coke for WIKE?
The legislature
That's
to be
the
able
spokesman.
to move the state ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It's been nice having you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the last edition of Media Chat for the year. It's been a very wonderful year. We look forward to events of 2026 as they unfold. The minister has already promised that January is going to be
It's
the flag.
about to go down.
We'll see you
right.
then. My name is Benga Arulema.
Okay, yeah. So again, that's that about that. It was a long one, 1 hour, 46 minutes, all talking about structure, really. Unfortunately, you know, it's just saying he's just talking about his own political strategy and all of that. January 1, he said things will begin to take shape as we go ahead. Thanks a lot for watching. It was a long wait. It was a long watch. At some point, I was just almost, kind of tired. And but then, yeah, that's it about that. I don't know what you guys think. Is there still any major hope for WIKE? For me, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him to be able to still keep his structure, given that the whole thing is now kind of a little bit tweaked and it now skews towards favoring Fubara in the short term. I believe that Fubara is now at a very good level playing. That is the state of politics in Nigeria. You may be an Oga, but we open coke for someone somewhere. I mean, I just saw him running with the coke. I mean, he's doing his job anyways. It's better than doing something else. It's better than banditry. I would say about that. But guys, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate. I wish you a very good day. And also for those who have not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. We'll be here covering everything. I wish you the best in 2026. I also wish you a good, restful season, complement of the season, and have a good day. Bye for now.